Well. Trevon Diggs. The Dallas Cowboys decided that Trevon Diggs, with just one more game left to go, he wasn't worth the trouble. He wasn't worth the trouble. The Dallas Cowboys let him go a game early. Why? Was it his play? Was it the ongoing feud between the Cowboys and Trevon Diggs? I mean, what could have caused such a thing? Did he make one of the coaches mad? Did he make the owner mad? I mean, what in the world would make them say before the post-June 1st deadline that we're going to cut Trevon Diggs? I think I got some answers for us. Let's talk Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. Yep. Let's go. I love it. I love it. I love it. I am glad the Cowboys made this move. Why carry on the drama? Get it out the way now. I love it. I love it. I love it. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And as you come into this live stream, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another video or go live, and we are live. And if you haven't become a channel member subscriber yet, what are you waiting on? We got a lot more content coming up this season. Now let's talk facts. I'm telling you, Trevon Diggs, nothing but drama. I'm telling y'all, nothing but drama. I've talked about this with Trevon Diggs, and then you get the Trevon Diggs advocates. They get mad when you say he's drama. He's drama. You get the Trevon Diggs advocates. Oh, you're saying bad. No, the bad stuff out there about Trevon Diggs is because of Trevon Diggs. I don't dislike Trevon Diggs, but his time was up in Dallas. And I say better sooner than later. Go ahead and start moving on. I hope the Cowboys have that same energy about Matt Eberflus. If the Cowboys are going to get rid of Matt Eberflus, please, the moment you get off the plane in Dallas, I would like for Jerry Jones to make the announcement that Matt Eberflus is no longer with the Cowboys. Bro, it is time for all of the drama, all of the non-football stuff. Get rid of nonsense. Get rid of nonsense. And I got some truth to tell you about Trevon Diggs if you haven't already heard it. This is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to keep it very simple. We're going to deal with the straw that broke the Cowboys' back as it applies to Trevon Diggs. We're going to deal with the straw that broke the Cowboys' back. And I'm telling y'all now, I believe this was a Brian Schottenheimer move again. I believe this was a Brian Schottenheimer move. I do. I believe this was a Brian Schottenheimer move. Then we're going to listen to Jane Slater. Jane Slater, I'm pretty sure, is going to give us some insight from 105.3 The Fan. I haven't listened to Jane Slater, so she may say some things that, I don't know, they may go a little bit in a different direction. But we're going to listen to what Jane Slater has to give us, some of the real story about one Trevon Diggs. And then if we get time, we'll listen to the Jerry Jones interview today. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think Jerry Jones said anything about Trevon Diggs today. At least I hadn't heard anybody talking about Jerry Jones saying anything about Trevon Diggs. So that's the show for the day. The straw that broke the Cowboys' back as it applies to Trevon Diggs. Jane Slater is going to give us some more truth about Trevon Diggs, and then we'll fit in some of, if not all of, the Jerry Jones interview. So, man, let's keep this thing going. Let's get a quick roll call, and I'll read a couple of comments as I do that roll call. Y'all know how we do it. What's going on, Queen? Queen said, 1 down, 1 more to go. Queen, I hope the Cowboys have that same energy as it applies to Matt Eberflus. I want the Cowboys to let go of Matt Eberflus on a Sunday, and then I want them to call Brian Flores' agent on a Monday and start inquiring about if there's a real chance that they could get Brian Flores. And if they can't, let's start moving on, lining up them candidates, and it's time to get the new regime started. Ron Hanna, what's going on? He said, gee, chat, I'm so happy the drama is over. We can all move on to 2026. Yes, sir. Jason Lewis from the 903 in the crib. Jason Lewis said, glad Diggs gone. Time to reset the defense, new corners and safety and some linebackers. Yes, sir. Thomas Roth, thank you, Jerry Jones. Michael and Diggs was a cancel. With the draft picks and the money, I'm liking what's cooking. Yes, sir. Tatiana, what's up? Tatiana says, well, gee, we saw this coming not even a mile away. Been talking about it, my sister. You know, we've been talking about this on this channel. Knew he was gone. Yeah. Chanel, what's going on? He said, I remember you and I talking about this point before the TV on the head accident that Diggs would be gone. Yes, sir. We've been talking about it. That Sachs guy, he said this guy's a part of the problem culturally. Cut out all the cancers on this team and let's make some noise next year. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, hey, let me tell you something, Chanel. I definitely don't want the agent job for Diggs. Ain't no way. Man, daggons, what's going on? Brandy, she said, now let go of Murray and Flus. Let's go. I'm with you. Lock and D, I've been saying this from the beginning. The front office is moving different. I love the moves they're making. Real estate vet, what's up? What's going on with you? Big Ron Bowski said, well, looks like someone is starting 2026 without a $472,000 paycheck. Yes, sir. Yeah. Lock and D, I agree. This is Brian Schottenheimer. This is the part that nobody's talking about. This is Brian Schottenheimer. I don't think this is Jerry Jones. And I'm going to tell you why in a moment. Kippy, what's up? Kippy said I would have cut Diggs long time ago. I agree. Big Mouse Dog, what up? He says, Cowboys Nation, what's going on? Yeah, that's the facts we're going to give tonight, Kippy. We're going to break them facts down tonight. Ty Howard, what's going on? John Jones, he said, what up, G Money? I tell you, it's a New Jack City. Pure Gaming Scopes. Nah, it's not Pure Gaming. This is the growth process. Pure Gaming. If the Cowboys are going to grow, they got to make more moves like this. The Cowboys actually have to make more moves like this. And the next one, I'm telling you, Matt Eberflus, that needs to be no later than Monday. They need to do more stuff like this. Hallelujah. He said, gee, you called it early in the season, though. I'm telling you. I've been had this energy on this thing. Darren Posey, what's going on? He said, I'm here so I can find out if Aiden was cut too. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. We saw this coming from a mile away. Jeremy Betts, what's going on? Grave Digger, what's going on? Glad to hear us move on to bigger and better things. Me too. Derek Grimsley, what's up? Inglewood Trojans, good to see you. Yeah. Azteca, what's going on? Next up, Murray, Wilson, Sanborn, Hooker, Terrence Steele, and Tolbert. I'm gonna agree with you except on Tolbert. Tolbert, you don't want to cut Tolbert. Tolbert, you can get something for Tolbert. I'm telling you right now, you can get something for Tolbert. Now, you don't want to cut Tolbert, but the rest of them, I agree with you. 72 Chevelle, Drama Queen Diggs, drama. Doomsday said Diggs in the locker room. Doomsday in the house. What up, G? What up? Big fella, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah. Peacemaker, what up? Hey, I'm with you. Let's go up to Brian Flores. My sister Niecy, what up? Niecy in this thing. What's up, Niecy? Star Guardian said too optimistic, but I'm saying anyway. Flores said, Jerry, prove to me you want me. I can't do anything with Diggs. Jerry said, I'll see you soon. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I love it. I'm awake. I'm awake. What's going on? Yeah. What up, Derek Williams? Kevin Elvis is in this thing. Sky B Faded. What up? Terry Tatum. Corey Corax. What up? What's going on? Steven Camper. Nella. What's going on? It's that man. He is in here. What is going on with you? All right. Man, let's get this thing going. David Everett. What's going on? Roberta Bacon. What's going on? David said, I don't think Flus is going anywhere. Hey, David. Some people are saying that this thing with Diggs is saying that Flus ain't going nowhere. I got a strange feeling Diggs. I got a strange feeling Flus is going somewhere, and I don't think this had anything to do with Flus. I don't think it had anything to do with Flus. Kitty Boy, Larry Stroud, Michael Winston, what's going on? Diggs might get picked up by the Packers. I can see it, but they're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. I can see it, though. They're not going anywhere. Jaden Justin, I agree. Culture building. Yes, sir. I agree with you. More Eddie, what up? How about them Cowboys, he said. Let's go, Michael Jones. Let's go, let's go. Kitty Boy, let's go. Get rid of the drama. Let's get rid of the drama. I love it. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Appreciate y'all rocking with me today. I'm telling you guys, this is a Brian Schottenheimer move. This has Brian Schottenheimer written all over it. Let me give you some insight just from my own evaluation as we talk about the straw that broke the Cowboys' back as it applies to Trevon Diggs. But let me give you some insight. I don't know if y'all remember, but I told y'all that I fully believe the person that wanted Trevon Diggs on the field was not Brian Schottenheimer, was not Matt Eberflus. The person that wanted Diggs on the field was Jerry Jones. That's what I believe. I could be totally wrong on this. But all the fingers are pointing towards Jerry wanted him on the field. Because Jerry says we paid him, let's play him. Let's get him on the field. But you could tell, even when Jerry made the announcement, y'all remember what I said? I didn't like the fact that Jerry was making the announcement that Diggs was going to play, because I said that that's something that Brian Schottenheimer should be breaking to everybody. And when Brian Schottenheimer, when Brian Schottenheimer was asked about it, when Brian Schottenheimer started talking about it, I said it then. I said, I'm not telling you I'm a body language expert reader, but what I am telling you, to me, you can clearly see Brian Schottenheimer did not want Diggs back on that field. I don't believe Shotty wanted him back on that field. I think Jerry wanted him back on that field. And so Brian obliges Jerry, because do y'all remember all the questions I was asking? Do y'all remember the questions? So the Cowboys got beat by the Detroit Lions in Detroit. Cowboys got beat by the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota. There's nothing else to play for. But Diggs wants to come back. What sense did it make to bring Diggs back when there's nothing to play for? And in reality, you should just be letting all the young guys play. But what did the Cowboys do? They brought back Diggs. Why? They didn't have to bring back Diggs. Josh Butler been healthy. Josh Butler said he been ready. Cowboys could have brought Josh Butler back. Brought him up. Cowboys chose to let Diggs play. And Diggs, with all of the whining to the to the media the way he was carrying on. I'm telling you. You remember the week that he was healthy? And I told y'all, after they had asked him, they said, hey, who helped you with the things that you've been going through on this team? What did Diggs say? My mama. And then what did the Cowboys do? They announced he wasn't playing the next game. I knew he wasn't going to play that game. But then it came back the next game. Nothing to play for. Cowboys let him play. Shouldn't have let him play. I didn't see what was he going to bring to the team by him playing when there's nothing to play for. And Diggs, I believe selfishly, and I'm not mad at him per se, but selfishly, I know what Diggs was doing. Diggs wanted to get some tape out there so that people could look at him and say, hey, Diggs is healthy. I still don't think nobody is looking at Diggs saying he's healthy. I don't think they're saying it. I don't think anybody's saying that about Diggs right now. And have y'all noticed? Diggs is singing his own praises. He keeps trying to tell everybody he's healthy, he's healthy, he's healthy, he's healthy. And I find it to be even more crazy. We all know, man, everybody know Diggs is no tackler. What did Diggs do? Everybody started saying stuff like, hey, man, Diggs was coming out tackling. I'm not saying he was necessarily being physical, but you got to understand what he was doing. Diggs has had every opportunity to show people that he was a tackler, and everybody knows that he's not a tackler. All of a sudden, he's a tackler. Diggs was doing things to get some tape out there. And so, again, I think this was Jerry Jones who wanted Diggs out there in the first place, because I know Flus ain't no way Flus would have wanted him out there. And I don't think Shotty wanted him out there. Don't think Shotty likes his attitude. Shotty even alluded to conversations that go on between him and Diggs. And sometimes people are not used to you telling them exactly how it is. This isn't just the straw that broke the camel's back. It was just thing after thing after thing after thing after thing with Diggs every single week. It made no sense. It never made sense. And it didn't even make sense for me for the Cowboys to bring Diggs back. It didn't make sense. And so let's get to the straw, because we already know about the rehab discussion. We already know about the Cowboys going at Diggs before the season started, in training camp. They're going at Diggs. We saw Diggs in the press conference with Michael Parsons, and we saw Diggs acting and crying almost when Parsons got traded. Just saw Diggs over and over and over. Diggs played a good game against Philadelphia when they only played him about 27 snaps. Came out in the second game. And what nobody knew is that Diggs started having swelling in the knee that the Cowboys said that he didn't rehab right in the first place. That was the very knee the Cowboys were complaining about. Then we find out that Diggs had actually been having problems with the knee. The first knee that the Cowboys accused him of rehabbing wrong, he had been having swelling in that knee the entire time while he was dealing with that knee. Then we get a phantom TV poll. And I don't even want to say phantom. I'm just going to say, based on what was said, Diggs said a TV poll fell and hit him in the head. Man, I don't think nobody believed that story. I don't think anybody believes the story about a pole hitting this man in the head when he's hanging the TV. And then some people say that there was a cover-up with Diggs and the Cowboys. There was a cover with the Cowboys and why they put him on injured reserve. No, I said it before. People have to understand. Diggs had to be complicit in that story. And Diggs was very complicit in that story. And whatever the lie or the truth is, Diggs didn't want to tell anybody. The Cowboys wasn't going to tell anybody. And then we just start breaking down something that goes from a simple concussion to all of a sudden this dude is missing, what, four games? I mean, and they just come out and explain and say, yeah, man, the TV pole fell on his head. Stop it. Man, we might have been born that night, but we were not born last night. Stop this madness. He cries and cries and cries for the Cowboys to play him. Cowboys play him. He didn't look necessarily bad, but he didn't look great either. He was just out there. I mean, that's all I can tell you. He was just pretty much out there. But the straw that broke the Cowboys' back. The story has come down now and is being reported by multiple sources. Diggs wanted to stay back in Washington. Diggs wanted to stay back in Washington. I don't know if he's got family up there or if it was just his son or his baby mama, whatever the case may be. I'm not sure about that. But Diggs wanted to stay back in Washington with his mama. His mama. Stay back with his family. And if y'all remember on Sounds from the Sideline, Diggs' son was actually in the stands. And so they're saying that Diggs wanted to stay back and obviously asked, could he stay back? And the coaches said no. But this is the crazy part. Diggs stayed anyway. Wow. See, when you deal with stuff like this, there are people sometimes in an organization, they'll basically challenge you and say, okay, so if I don't do what you say, what are you going to do? You must always be prepared in your mind to take something to the next level, not of violence, but you have to be willing to take it to the next level of, if you're going to try to put me in a situation to where either cut you or let you do what you want to do, well, I'm going to take it to the next level. I'm going to cut you. I'm going to release you. We were already going to release you, but we're going to release you. And some people may say, well, it's not a big deal that he wanted to stay back. Players do it all the time. Not based on my research. I haven't heard anybody hardly come out. And actually, I haven't heard anybody come out. I'll be listening over the next couple of days. I haven't heard anybody come out and say, yeah, players stay back in the opposing city all the time. Because I'm sure that's not a practice. I am sure that is not a practice. And this, for me, is the epitome of Trevon Diggs. Diggs seems to think he's bigger than the star. He seems to think he's bigger than the star. That if he decides that he wants to speak out, and if he wants to say that this ain't good enough and that ain't good enough, then it's the gospel. I told y'all before, and there were people who were mad that I said it. Cowboys don't want players like Diggs no more. They don't want players like Diggs. They don't want players who try and run their mouth. They don't want players out here, and I'm telling you, Nate Newton hit this on the head early in the season. Nate Newton said it. Nate Newton said, it is not for the Cowboys defenders to be telling the court of public opinion, to be screaming to the fans that things aren't right, they don't like this and they don't like that. He was only talking about Trevon Diggs. Nate Newton said, Flus has got to cut that kind of talk out. He's got to stop him. Now, you got to understand, Nate Newton is from those championship Dallas Cowboys teams. And Nate Newton knows that they didn't play this mess. They absolutely didn't play this mess. And so at the end of the day, I think this is a shoddy move. I think Brian Schottenheimer was livid that he stayed back. I'm sure Jerry was too. But at the end of the day, I think it was Shoddy who was the most livid about this, and it was Shoddy, I believe, who more than likely approached the Joneses about cutting him. Let's read a couple of super chats, and then we're gonna get into listen to James Slater. Quentin Warner said, don't matter if you don't get players, Diggs or no Diggs, hold this delusional owner accountable. Divisional leaders draft Georgia boys and Cowboys draft Boise. That's the issue. Well, I'm hoping the Cowboys continue on a trend, and I hope they continue to get some of those Georgia boys like we got George Pickens. I hope they start going to the Bamas like they went and got Ty Booker. I hope the Cowboys stay on that trajectory. I'm applauding the Cowboys for this move. I'm applauding the Cowboys for this move. Don't drag this nonsense out until the beginning of the next season in March. Don't drag this nonsense out. I'm glad the Cowboys got it over with. I'm glad the Cowboys got it over with. I don't want another week of Trevon Diggs talking to Trevon Diggs at his locker and asking him about this and that. I don't want to hear nothing. I am so glad the Cowboys have moved on from Trevon Diggs for Trevon Diggs' sakes and for the Cowboys' sakes. Let's let Trevon Diggs go out there. He'll clear waivers. Nobody's going to pay Trevon Diggs the money to pick him up right now. He'll clear waivers. Darren Posey said maybe Diggs tried to hang another TV and it failed. Man, that is crazy work, though, for Diggs to try and stay back in Washington. That is crazy to me. Crazy to me. Let me read a couple more comments. Kippy says, my cut list: Wilson, Hooker, Bridges, Carson, Bell, Thomas, Williams, Thomas, Murray, Sanborn. All backup linebackers. I like it. Yeah. And defensive ends not named Ezra or Clowney. Now, I'll keep James Houston. He was the Cowboys' best pass rusher overall, I believe. I'm keeping James Houston. I'm easy, Clowney, James Houston, I'm keeping them. But the rest of them, I'm with you. Cowboys got a clean house on a lot of this stuff. I'm glad they got rid of this thing with Diggs because, man, you got to understand. Diggs shows in the grand scheme of things. For us, our family comes before football. Our family comes before football. But if I'm a professional football player, my family has to understand that in order for you to continue to live the lifestyle that you live for the next 10 to 15 years of our life, no, football is going to be first. In every plan, it's going to be God, football, and family. Every plan we make is going to have to be around football. That's what my family's going to understand. This is why you don't have all these women spread all around and kids spread all around. I'm not judging, but I'm just giving us a fact. This is why you don't do those types of things, so you don't have to be trying to divide your time up like this. Sometimes things just happen, but there are other things where people are just saying, people just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. I mean, it's one thing that you do it once, but when you do it multiple times, and then you want the team to bow down to whatever it is that you want to do with your children or whatever the case may be, that's crazy. I'm just telling you. If I was a team right now, if I'm a team right now, and I'm serious about my championship run, and I know this story about Trevon Diggs, and I'm sure this story is true. I'm sure this story is true about him wanting to stay in Washington. And the Diggs advocates, I guarantee you, they're going to be making up every excuse saying they don't see anything wrong with it. Well, and I always say, no offense to anybody, but those type of people, nope, you couldn't be on my team. Some people do not understand. I don't necessarily have to be your best buddy on the team, but what you cannot be on this team is disruptive. You cannot be that type of person. If I'm a championship team and I'm serious about that championship, I don't want Diggs on my team. I don't want Diggs on my team. You tell me that story and the play that he's putting on the field. Now, If we're talking, and y'all know how it goes, your talent level determines the tolerance that teams have for you. If Diggs is out here this year and Diggs has gotten 6 or 7 interceptions in return for him for touchdowns, and he's out here with 40, 50 tackles, and I mean, he all pro Trevon Diggs, and he just happened to be released by the Cowboys. Well, if I'm a team and I know I need a cornerback of that caliber, I would get it. Man, this dude's talent level don't even dictate any tolerance. His tolerant level as of today does not dictate any tolerance. If I'm a team that's serious about a championship run, there's no way I'm considering Trevon Diggs. There is no way I'm considering Trevon Diggs. If Stephon Diggs came to me on the Patriots and asked to pick up his brother, I would tell him no. It wouldn't even be a conversation. No, we're not doing that. If I were the Green Bay Packers, which I don't know, Green Bay, I think I got a strange feeling the Green Bay Packers are never going to be any better than what we've been watching. I mean, this is the 3rd year in a row. No matter what they do, they seem to have the same record. They seem to be what they are. They just seem to be a number 7 or number 6 seed team, and they're typically going to be maybe 1 and done, 2 at the most. And Jordan Love ought to be very concerned because Malik Willis looked great these last couple of weeks, and he looked better than anything that I've seen Jordan Love do over the entire time since he's gotten paid. But if I'm a championship team and I'm serious about a Super Bowl run, I don't want Diggs on my team. Not me. I'm just telling you about me. And I wish the best for Diggs, but I'm just being truthful with you. I wouldn't want Diggs on my team, especially if I heard the story about what just happened in Dallas. I don't want Diggs on my team. Nisi said he makes enough money to hire someone to hang a TV. Nisi said, hell, we don't even have his money and we hire somebody to hang a TV. Facts. Nisi, I know how to hang TVs. Used to do this home theater stuff. Used to be into it. I don't even hang TVs for other people. Only people I'll hang TVs for is me and my family. I won't, and I'm talking about my sons. I won't even go outside of that. I tell anybody, you're going to get a TV. If you're going to get a TV, get it professionally installed. I just can't believe somebody with his money would not be doing that. It doesn't make sense to me. Danny Dallas Cowboys, let's go. He said the White House, Trevon Diggs. He said Trevon Diggs watched anyway. Who cares? Amen. Brandon said hard-headed. Kevin said, I hope Diggs going to play for Washington. He won't be no problem. Kevin, you know what? Hey, with the way that Dan Quinn operates, he loves all those old players. Maybe he will get Diggs. Maybe he will get Diggs. But I'll tell you this. I wouldn't want Diggs on my team. If I'm hearing this story from the Cowboys about him wanting to stay in Washington, and I'm pretty sure that's a true story. He couldn't be with me no more. He couldn't come on my team. He couldn't be on my team. I don't want that kind of toxicity on my team. That's crazy. Baz, Jane Slater ran to Diggs' defense about that concussion story. Bet she feel foolish now. Kevin Edwards, yeah, Diggs got his wake-up call. Dominique, he said they don't want outspoken players or players that will go against the grain. Now, I don't think they necessarily even have a problem with outspoken players. Dominique, it's the way you speak out. It's the way you speak out. Have y'all not been noticing that Dak Prescott's been speaking out? I know a lot of people aren't paying attention to it. Dak Prescott's been speaking out. But it's the way Dak Prescott's been speaking out. That's why nobody's noticing that Dak Prescott has been speaking out. Dak Prescott has actually spoke out multiple times about George Pickens. Multiple times Dak Prescott has spoken out about George Pickens. He wants the front office to sign George Pickens. Dak Prescott has also spoken out multiple times, and a lot of people aren't paying attention. Dak Prescott has spoken out multiple times about who? Jadeveon Clowney. Dak Prescott has spoken out multiple times. Dak Prescott has spoken up and out about certain things in a certain way. But Dak knows how to do things to where it's not detrimental to the team. But I'll be honest with you. I don't want players like Trevon Diggs on my team. I don't want players like Trevon Diggs on my team. And you got to ask yourself, tell me the player on the Dallas Cowboys during their championship runs. Name me the outspoken players. Name me the outspoken players. Emmitt Smith held out for a contract. Emmitt Smith got that contract. He was good to go. Troy Aikman, he spoke out about Barry Switzer. We know he had a problem with Barry Switzer. Troy Aikman spoke out about Barry Switzer, but the team followed the team. The team had the back of Barry Switzer. The team didn't let the Troy Aikman stuff get out of hand with Barry Switzer, and they went on to win a Super Bowl. But we got to realize something. The Barry Switzer issue and the Troy Aikman issue, and we can even include this in a sense, because in actuality, that was the beginning of the end. Because that was the last time the Cowboys won a championship. And because that discipline of Jimmy was no longer there, that team fell apart after 1995. That was pretty much it. You do not need players like this on your team. You don't. Davion Wallace, what's going on? Bass, you're right. You don't openly criticize your employer. I agree. This is the same thing that Nate Newton was saying. Nate Newton was saying, what can we do about you complaining? Go to the source. Go to the source. Jerome Miller, I've been saying this. Jerry's moving different. He's finally making moves on time and not stalling or waiting around. He's moving with urgency. I was listening to Mark Schlereth today talk, and I was listening to Brian Broaddus talk. And a lot of people are under this same impression as it applies to Jerry Jones and the Cowboys. Jerry is doing some of the things that he's doing right now. I think everybody is under the same impression with Jerry. Jerry don't have the patience that he had before. Because Jerry knows that, man, he might not have, Jerry might not be around another 3, 4, or 5 years to watch this team to get to where they need to get to. No, y'all watch what I tell you. Jerry is going in this free agency. They're pushing all the chips on the table. You watch what I tell you. The Cowboys are going to push they're going to push all the chips in the table. They're pushing them all in the middle. 2026, 2026, they're going to push all these chips in the middle of the table. Jerry don't want to wait another year. Jerry's got his offense. I'm sure Jerry feels in his mind, I got my offense pretty much the way I want it. It just needs a couple of more tweaks. But this defense, total overhaul. I believe if Jerry gets the opportunity to get Brian Flores, he's going to get him. The question is, will he have the opportunity? I believe Jerry is going to get Brian Flores if he gets the chance. It's just a matter if he does or not. And we'll see if Brian Flores wants to play for the Cowboys. I mean, if he wants to coach for the Cowboys. Because I can tell you this, I told y'all this yesterday. If I'm Brian Flores, there are a couple of issues, and they are major, that no matter what Minnesota came to me with, I would leave Minnesota unless they came with an astronomical price. The check would have to be astronomical. The contract would have to be astronomical. And let me tell you why. Because Minnesota and their state tax. Why stay in Minnesota making $4 million? Because I can go to Dallas and make $2 million. And it'll be the same thing as being in Minnesota. And as a matter of fact, if I go to Dallas for $3 million, Minnesota offered me $4 million, it'll be better. There's no state tax, and the cost of living in Texas is way cheaper than Minnesota. If I'm Brian Flores, I'm coming to Dallas just based on principle. It's just more. I mean, you think about the cold. while they don't play in the cold, but they live in the cold. I wouldn't want to be in Minnesota. I would want to be in Dallas, just like Kenny. Kenny and his family was glad to come to Dallas from Green Bay. Why? The weather. I guarantee you also the tax situation. That's a big deal for players. That's a big deal for players. I'll tell you another reason. If I'm Brian Flores, why would I want to go to the Dallas Cowboys? Unless there is a team that is offering me a head coach job. When I look out on the horizon, the Dallas Cowboys have the best quarterback and the best offense. The best quarterback and the best offense available for me to be able to get a Super Bowl. Could y'all imagine if Brian Flores had the defense playing like the Minnesota's defense with our offense? I guarantee you we'd be beating teams by 35. I guarantee you we'd be scoring 35 plus points a game because we would be getting so many more opportunities at getting the ball. If I'm Brian Flores, those two reasons right there are major. Those two reasons are major. There's a third reason. Imagine being the defensive coordinator that gets the Cowboys over the hump and helps them get to the Super Bowl. You get to write your own ticket. There's not a team that needs a coach that would not be considering you for the head coach. I believe Brian Flores would be great for the Cowboys. I think he's a jolt. I think he's the kind of coach they need. And I also think he's the kind of coach that wouldn't put up with a Trevon Diggs. This is one of the reasons why you're probably not going to see Al Harris in Dallas, because they are saying that Al Harris was also a part of this Trevon Diggs thing of the way Trevon Diggs carried on and some of the things he was doing. I don't know why, but they're saying that he was an enabler in some form or fashion. So the Cowboys are at odds with Al Harris, and so you won't see him back. Quentin said Diggs is from Maryland. Yeah. Yeah, Diggs did play for Bama, though, right? I thought he played for Bama. But, nevertheless, I think Brian Flores would be great for us. And I think he would also help Brian Schottenheimer, because then you wouldn't have to worry about these players like Trevon Diggs, because I'm telling you, Brian Flores wouldn't put up with this nonsense. The reason why I want Brian Flores is because if there's anybody that would stand up to Jerry Jones in the right way, not in the wrong way, but in the right way, and do what was best for the team and the defense to win, I trust Brian Flores to do it. I trust Brian Flores to do it. I do. Yeah, I've been hearing the same thing, Jaden Justin. I can't wait to start looking at the draft. Yeah, there's some good cornerbacks in this draft, G. I've been hearing the same thing. And I think with Revel Blend and one of those defensive backs in the draft, we'll be fine. I agree with you, Jaden. I think the Cowboys are going to make a sacrifice with DeRon Bland. I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to put DeRon Bland back in the slot. I think they're going to put him back in the slot. I think they're going to go out there, and I think they're going to draft him an outside cornerback. I think Bland is going to be designated to the slot. And he's got his money now, so what difference does it make? Go where you play best for the team. You can still move him outside sometimes too. But I think DeRon Bland, when they go in this draft, they're going to probably get a cornerback. They're going to probably put him back inside, and I think that's going to be the best thing that happened to DeRon Bland. I think he's going to get more opportunities. Yeah, Brandy said Shotty is $18 million 4 years, which is $4.5 million a year. Yeah, and Flores can get $5 million or more a year. And if I'm not mistaken, Brandy, I actually heard that Brian Flores isn't making the money that Matt Eberflus makes. That's what I'm hearing. He's not making the money that even Matt Eberflus is making. So if I were the Cowboys, I'd let him step right into that money. I would. I'd let him step right into that money. The Cowboys need that type of jolt defensively. And I also think Brian Schottenheimer needs that kind of coach. Brian Schottenheimer needs somebody to help him with discipline, Not only somebody that will help him with discipline, but somebody who I believe the players will respect. I think the players will respect Brian Flores. I really do. I think the players will respect Brian Flores. But again, I'm telling us to move with Trevon Diggs. I just think it's a great move for the Cowboys. I'm glad they moved on from Trevon Diggs. Rip the Band-Aid off now. We know you were going to do it at the end of the season. Rip the Band-Aid off now. Just get all the questions you can get this week. It's the last game going into the Giants game. I'm pretty sure a lot of the locker room is going to be relieved because, man, people think locker rooms like drama. Man, locker rooms don't like drama. Don't let people fool you. Locker rooms don't like drama. When your talent level is high, the locker room may tolerate drama. But if you're not playing well, man, locker room don't want your mess. There were many in that locker room who didn't like the fact that Michael Parsons was doing that podcast. But they tolerated it. Why? Because Michael Parsons was performing for the most part. He's out there getting 12 sacks a season. He's out there getting pressures. He's out there making a difference, making an offense have to pay attention to who he is. When you got that kind of talent, even if I don't like what you're doing, I'm probably willing to tolerate it a lot more, even as a player, because I know what you kind of bring to the team. Man, your talent level got to be off the charts for me to deal with your dumbness. But when you're declining, when you're declining, I have no tolerance, bro. This is a meritocracy. I have no tolerance, bro. When your talent is in the decline like his was, I have no tolerance. Kevin, that was I love it. Appreciate you. Jerry Jones used to watch Let's Talk Cowboys instead of the Hate ESPN and 105.3 The Fan. I could definitely help him. Jerry need to go ahead and put me on the payroll. Let me be a spiritual advisor. Brandon said, I would also use Jaden Blue as your fastback. I want to see Jaden Blue. Unfortunately, I think the Cowboys are going to put Jaden Blue on the shelf until next season. I got a feeling he's going to be on the shelf. Jerome Miller, Diggs has been declining in injury since we paid him. Facts. He's never been the same anymore. Facts. It showed on the field. He has twice as more touchdowns scored on him than he does interceptions. So let me show you something that's crazy. Hold on, let me read what Rumbowski's saying. I like what Rumbowski said. Rumbowski said Brian Flores is also the kind of coach that isn't going to deal with a meddling owner and is clueless is clueless about who needs to start every Sunday. Just read the story on why Flores got fired from Miami as head coach. It's the very reason why I think he needs to be in Dallas. It's the very reason why I think he needs to be in Dallas. I think he's exactly what Jerry needs. May not be what he wants, but I even think Jerry Jones would concede that if he could get Brian Flores, I think even Jerry realizes that a coach like Brian Flores would be exactly what he needs. Angel Eye said, I feel bad for our offense. The defense tanked this season. I do too. Hate not being able to watch them go off in the playoffs this year. Hopefully we get everyone back for a run next year. Yeah, we will. I do believe we will. I believe we will. Dominique, well, I'm going to tell you this. I'm hoping that he will pay him. Dominique said, again, some of y'all are putting into the conversation, Jerry has to pay Flores. He's not going to do that. We're going to see. We're going to see. Because, again, Dominique, you got to understand what I'm saying by paying him. From what my understanding is, he's not making as much as Matt Eberflus. You could justify paying Brian Flores Matt Eberflus money because Brian Flores is an ex-head coach, and Jerry seems to like these defensive coordinators that are ex-head coaches. I want to see it, and I want Jerry to get the opportunity to do it because people said Jerry wouldn't trade Michael. He traded him. People didn't think he was going to do George, and I think he's going to shock everybody when he signs George Pickens. Jerry has done some things this whole season that people said Jerry wouldn't do. I think he's going to do it. Mixed Matrix, what's going on? Says I hope Diggs go to beats and ball out. Sadly, it won't change this front office ways. Miss Matrix, I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm going to go out on a limb. Trevon Diggs is not going to ball out. Trevon Diggs is not going to ball out. Trevon Diggs, Mixed Matrix, I've been saying this. And the Trevon Diggs advocates, they've been proven wrong over and over and over, but they don't want to admit it. They won't concede. Mixed Matrix, Diggs is not right physically. People don't want to admit this truth about Diggs. He's not right physically. If you got to tell me you're right physically, I don't believe you're right physically. If I'm right physically, I don't have to tell you I'm right physically. I don't have to make the argument that I'm right physically if I'm right physically. I only make that argument if someone is watching what I'm doing and they're disagreeing with what I'm saying. I'm telling us, and I said this before, Diggs should have even played these last 2 games or whatever he played. Diggs should have been ready to get on the shelf and just keep working on his rehab and get ready to go to a team next season. We're watching these other players that used to play with the Cowboys. DeMarcus Lawrence is the greatest example. Got his body right, went to Seattle. Now look at them. They may actually go to the Super Bowl. Diggs isn't right physically. Diggs can't plant, turn, and run. He cannot do it. The tape is showing it. Diggs can't do it. People try to cherry pick on Diggs and say, oh, Diggs is this and that. And people, let me show you something that's going around on Diggs. There are people out there calling Diggs the worst cornerback in the NFL right now. Now, I'm not sure I'm going to agree necessarily with Diggs is the worst cornerback in the NFL. I'm just going to show you what's out there. This matches the tape. Trevon Diggs has allowed a passer rating of 157.2. The perfect passer rating is 158.3, making him one of the worst in the league when targeted. This is fact. They were talking about this just the other day on 105.3. And there are people out there, they're defending these things, but it is what it is. Diggs isn't good no more. It don't mean that he can't be good anymore, but Diggs isn't good anymore. He's not good anymore. Bottom line, he has a high-risk style of playing. His gambling, ball-hawking approach led to fewer turnovers and more blown coverages, allowing offenses to exploit him. It's fact. He can't turn and run anymore. If it's in front of Diggs, he still got the instinct. But if it's not in front of Diggs, he can't do anything with it. He can't play trail technique. He can't catch anybody. A double move and he's done. I'm going to be very interested to see what team gets Diggs. I'm going to be very interested. Because I'm telling y'all, this league ain't dumb. Just like people, the conversation around Trevon Diggs is the same conversation I heard around Ezekiel Elliott when the Cowboys released Ezekiel Elliott. What was it, last year? Cowboys released Ezekiel Elliott. And the Ezekiel Elliott advocates were losing their minds. Zeke isn't washed. Zeke can still go and play on a team and contribute. Oh, the Chargers got Zeke. Zeke is going to go out there and wreck shop in the playoffs. Man, they didn't even let Zeke hit the field. You think they were dumb? Why do we think Zeke didn't hit the field? Why was he on the practice squad? We think the Chargers were dumb? The Chargers got Zeke on the practice squad and was like, he ain't it. He's not it. He can't even beat the dudes out on the practice squad. He can't beat the dudes out on the third string running back. No. You don't have to be washed, but but at the same time, if you don't have it no more, you just don't have it no more. We can call it what we want to. And Diggs, Diggs is not right yet. And this is why I keep saying I just think Diggs needs to just – I wouldn't even want to get on the team. I wouldn't even want to get on a team if I was Diggs. Why? Why not just focus on my body and just say, I'm going to get 100% healthy. I don't want to have the conversations with people. I'm healthy. No, I'm going to get myself right. And when I come out and I start trying out for teams, I'm not going to have to tell them I'm right. They're going to see I'm right. I'm not buying it with Diggs. And I know people are hoping the same thing. I've been seeing, Diggs going to go out there and ball out. Okay. I'm going to let people tell it. Because I want to see the team that's going to get him based on his talent level right now. Because he doesn't have the level of talent at this point in time that I'm willing to take his baggage. I'm not willing to take Diggs' baggage. If I'm a championship level team, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want the conversation of Diggs in my locker room. I don't want the media, what happened in Dallas? I don't want that in my locker room. I'm winning without him. What do I want him for? There is no way that Diggs steps onto a team and he becomes the difference between them going to the Super Bowl and staying at home. Ain't no way possible. Ain't no way. Junior said, "What up, G? I'm not in on Brian Flores." Appreciate that super chat. Junior said he's a great coordinator, but Dallas does not have the players for his scheme. It will take years for this defense to look like Minnesota's. It took them 3 years. Junior, I got a strange feeling. Jerry is putting the Cowboys on the accelerated program. I'm telling y'all, Jerry already knows, guys. Man, Jerry knows. I don't think Jerry even wants to think about 3 years from now. Jerry Jones don't want to think about no 3 years from now. Jerry Jones' mind is on 2026. That's all Jerry's mind is on. Jerry is saying right now, my offense was good enough to go and compete for a Super Bowl. Jerry is saying that right now. Jerry is going to hit this free agency, hit this draft, hit this trade market. Jerry gonna hit this thing diligently. Y'all watch what I tell y'all. Y'all watch what I tell you. Jerry ain't playing, man. I'm telling you, Jerry ain't thinking about no 3 years. Jerry ain't even thinking about 2 years from now. Jerry is going to expect major results in 2026. I guarantee you, Jerry's got Super Bowl on his mind. Jerry's got Super Bowl on his mind. I'm telling y'all now, Jerry is not going to take another one of these seasons. You watch what I tell you, Junior. Jerry's not going to take another one of these seasons. From nobody. Nobody. And I'm telling you, not even Brian Schottenheimer. Dominique mentioned this the other day, talking about how much time he gave Jason Garrett. Man, Jerry was younger then. Jerry ain't giving nobody this much time no more. Jerry's not giving anybody no more time. Jerry's saying, I don't have the time no more. I need somebody to come in here and win, and I need them to win now. Jerry wants to win now. Jerry ain't trying to do nothing 2 years from now. Jerry wants it to be 2026. Bottom line. Bottom line, Jerry wants it to be in 2026. Jerry is going to go out here, and he is going to get players. And I'm telling you now, Dominique, the salary cap is not real. The salary cap is not real, and Jerry knows it. Jerry's been knowing it. We got all this access to information now. Pickens only cost 3.6 against the cap, right up Steven and Jerry Alley. I'm telling you, it will benefit the Cowboys signing Pickens, Dominique. It's going to benefit the Cowboys signing Pickens. It'll benefit the Cowboys going and doing a new deal with Kenny Clark. It's going to benefit the Cowboys even if they get Max Crosby. Man, if I'm not mistaken, Max Crosby is only owed, I think right now, maybe about $65 million over the next 2 years. Man, the Cowboys can easily absorb this. They can easily absorb this. Cowboys salary cap is myth. Miss Matrix. Yeah. Now, I preface what I said, Miss Matrix. I said I'm not sure he's the worst cornerback in the league. But, yeah, he is one of – Diggs ain't – Miss Matrix, Watch this. Do you know who Trevon Diggs' worst enemy is right now? Trevon Diggs' worst enemy is not any other cornerback in the league. Trevon Diggs' worst enemy is Trevon Diggs. Because Trevon Diggs was so good before he signed that deal. Have y'all noticed? I haven't heard anybody compare Trevon Diggs to Patrick Surtain. I haven't heard anybody comparing him to any of the top safeties in the league, the kid that got traded from the Jets. I haven't heard anybody comparing Diggs. The only person that Diggs is being compared to is Diggs. Diggs is Diggs' worst enemy. That's who Diggs' worst enemy is. Hey, I'll tell you this, Mixed Matrix. If Diggs, now remember this, Mixed Matrix. D-Law, though, D-Law took off the whole rest of the offseason and got his body right. Didn't play none that season. Didn't kind of try to come back for no playoff run. He came back and went to the Seattle Seahawks, who has a very good team around him. I'm pretty confident in what I'm saying on this. There is no way Diggs in this playoff run. There is no way in this year's playoff run that Diggs is about to go out on a team and be that player that says that everybody goes, wow, Diggs is the reason why they went to the Super Bowl. And if he does, I'll be the first one to come back and say I was wrong about Diggs. I'll be the first one to come back and say I was wrong about Diggs. But I'm telling us, Diggs' issue isn't just scheme. Diggs' issue isn't scheme. I'm telling you now, if a team actually went at Diggs, he done. Because I'm telling you, if I was a playoff team and Diggs is lined up, shoot, forget about it. I'm going to make sure I'm going to isolate him against that one wide. Wherever he is, I'm going to send the wide receiver. If it's two wide receivers on that side, I'm going to send the other one in motion. I want Diggs one-on-one. Man, these wide receivers. Name me the wide receiver right now that is in contention. Name me the wide receiver right now that anybody think that Diggs would had a chance against. Trevon Diggs wouldn't have a chance against Puka Nacua. Wouldn't have a chance against Devontae Adams. Wouldn't have a chance against Jackson Smith and Jigba. Name me the wide receiver. Name me the wide receiver that is truly in contention right now that Diggs can step on the field and do something with. Diggs can't do nothing with these wide receivers that are out there right now because Diggs can't even do nothing with some of the wide receivers that we play that are not even that good. No, there is no way. I'm confident in saying this. And if Diggs does do it, I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him. I hope he does prove everybody wrong. Prove everybody wrong. But I'm just telling you, for me, on principle, Diggs' ability isn't even the main thing for me. Diggs couldn't play. What he did in Dallas, this thing, he couldn't play for me. Diggs couldn't play for me right now. I'm a playoff team. Diggs can't play for me. Because you're not a team. You are obviously not a team player. I don't want Diggs. And his talent level ain't that big, ain't that great for me to be tolerating that kind of behavior. And I'm very interested to see. The league spoke on Zeke when everybody was advocating for Zeke. The league spoke on Zeke. The Chargers got him, put him on the practice squad. And I'm laughing. All of the Ezekiel Elliott advocates, where are they now? Because Zeke, after the last season, where is he now? Somebody tell me where Zeke is. I don't think Diggs is going to meet that same fate. But I don't think Diggs is going to come on nobody's team this year and do no damage. Diggs needs to focus on getting his body right. And I've been saying that and saying that. If he want to be like D-Law, do what D-Law did. D-Law didn't play a down for the Cowboys in 2024. And I said he wasn't going to play a down. He didn't play a down for the Cowboys, came back, went to a team that got a lot of great players on it, got young coaches, got a great scheme, and D-Law's fit into it perfectly. Rumbowski said, I believe Jerry definitely knows his time is limited, but the problem is he can't trade away his draft picks and expect to have a full competitive NFL roster. It has nothing to do with the salary cap. Exactly. But I also see, Rumbowski, I do see where Jerry, do not be surprised. I'm not going to be surprised if Jerry does something with that Green Bay pick. There's a chance that Green Bay pick is about to be a top 20 pick. There is a great chance that's going to be a top 20 pick. I am not going to be surprised if Jerry trades that Green Bay pick. And he might not trade to where he gets rid of it, but Jerry may trade that pick and trade back and then get back into the second round. Jerry may try to parlay that pick into a another second round draft pick. I'm not going to be surprised. They're going to have some options with those picks. You watch what I tell you. They're going to work some wonders with those picks. And I do think that I think they're going to circle the block and they're going to try to go back and get Max Crosby. Chanel said, G, remember that Trevon Diggs was recruited as a wide receiver. Yep. And played that position during his freshman year at Alabama. But Coach Nick Saban moved him to cornerback before his sophomore year. Yeah. One thing about Diggs is he got some hands. Diggs got hands. Diggs got instinct. What has betrayed Diggs, and I have been consistent with this, what has betrayed Diggs is his knees. Diggs' knees has betrayed him. It's the thing that's betrayed him. And when people talk about Diggs, they're not comparing him to anybody else but Diggs. Because Diggs was that good before he signed that deal. Diggs was that... Grave Digger, stop it. Grave Digger said Drew Pearson would cook Diggs right now. And again, it's not because Diggs is trash. I want people to understand what I'm saying about Diggs. I'm not telling you Diggs is trash. Diggs' knees has betrayed him. Diggs got to get those knees right. Bottom line, Diggs got to get those knees right. If Diggs can get those knees back, Diggs is going to be fine next season. But if I was Diggs, man, don't even worry about this season. Don't even worry about this season. Man, go get your body right and then come back like D-Law did and prove everybody wrong when your body is right. But sometimes, man, I'm telling you, pride comes before the fall. I don't understand why does he feel like he has to prove people wrong? And the thing about Trevon Diggs, I can tell you, Trevon Diggs is a very sensitive individual. I mean, when he went at Bubba Dub, that told me everything I needed to know about him. Very sensitive. Man, just stay away from that stuff. Focus on getting yourself right. If you will focus on getting yourself right, I'm telling us all, I will say that if Diggs will get his body right, Diggs can be him again. Diggs can be him again. It's not like he's an old guy. I believe Diggs can get it back together again. Here we go. But I don't think it's going to be this year. And I am very interested. Miss Matrix, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be the first one. I'm going to be the first one to come back and tell you I was wrong if Diggs go in these doggone playoffs and ball out. And Miss Matrix, I'm going to go even further. If Diggs come in these playoffs and ball out, he gets on the team and he balls out, the next team he's on, I'm going to buy you the jersey of the next team he's on. Book it. Book it. I want you to record this on your phone, Miss Matrix. You know we down. We down. Me and you, we down. If he balls out, his next team, I'm buying you the jersey. Telling you right now. That's where I am on Diggs. And this is why I say I want Diggs. I really would rather Diggs do what D-Law did. Man, just chill and sit back. Get your body right, bro. Get your body right. Stop trying to prove stuff to people. That's the one thing that gets people in trouble. Stop trying to prove to people who you are. Just show them. Just show them. You never have to prove anything if you just show and be. Be who you are. That shows people who you are. Get that body back right. All right. But I appreciate you, Miss Matrix. I've seen some other people saying that too. I was laughing Oh, okay, Poopy D, you got your shirt today? Yes, sir. And you got some pants to match it. And you got some pants to match it. Everybody else stuff should be coming in. Also. Y'all got to remember, I still got to give away that George Pickens jersey. I haven't forgot. I'm gonna give away that George Pickens jersey. I'm gonna give away that George Pickens jersey. I'm gonna give away the Demo. I'm gonna give away the Agent Zero jersey, and then I think we're also gonna give away. I think we were talking about doing a Quinnen Williams jersey, but I think instead of no, I think we were talking about giving away a Kenny Clark jersey. But I think instead of Kenny Clark, I think we're gonna do Quinnen Williams. So we got 3 jerseys to give away, and we will be giving those jerseys away over the next few weeks. We'll make sure we get those given away before the Super Bowl is over. So there are going to be more giveaways. Miss Matrix, you remember I told you that. I'm a man of my word. I'm going to make sure you're going to get that jersey. You are going to get that jersey. Poopy D will tell you. Poopy D got a whole suit from me because I sent him pants instead of a top. But I still was good. And I think Dominique, you should have got your stuff today too, right? I'm thinking Dominique should have got his stuff today. I got a couple of more people's stuff should be coming in over the next couple of days. But like I said, I got 3 jerseys to give away. And I've also seen these nice shirts that I think I'm going to give away 10 of these. Let me show y'all these before we move on to James Slater. I found these shirts, and if they don't sell out, I think I'm going to give away, my goal is to give away 10 of these over the next couple of months. Let me show y'all these shirts that I found for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to give away 10 of these. I'll tell you how I'm going to give them away here pretty soon. I found these shirts. Let me make sure they got the sizes. They might already be out of them because these shirts right here. I like these shirts, but I don't know. Y'all might not like them. But if you don't like them, I guess you won't even try to get in the drawing for whatever it is I'm going to do to get these shirts. But these are the shirts that I think I'm going to give away next until I get my own I get my own stuff going. Check this shirt out. Tell me if y'all like this. I plan to give away 10 of these shirts right here. Y'all will see me wearing one of these shirts very soon. And then I'm going to give away another 10 of these shirts. Y'all tell me if y'all like these shirts right here. Boy, I think these things are cleansed. I like those, man. Those are some cleansed shirts right there. I like those, man. I plan on giving away 10 of those. Plan on giving away 10 of those. Tell me what y'all think about those shirts. But I'm going to give away 10 of those. 10 of those. Bass said he likes them. Big D said he don't like them. He said he don't like them. Christian said he like them. Okay, so I'm going to be working on over the next couple of weeks. I plan to give away 10 of these shirts right there. 10 of these shirts right here. I'm going to give away 10 of these shirts. All right, 10 of these shirts. I plan on giving 10 of these away. All right, let me see something here. Okay, Bass said he'll take one of them shirts. All right. Bass, make sure you send me, hold on. All right, I just put my email address in the chat. I just put my email address in the chat. Everybody who said they like that shirt, send me an email and tell me you like that shirt. Send me an email and tell me you like that shirt. All right, Nisi said nice for the guys. Okay, so Nisi, I got to figure out. Okay, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. So I'm going to split it down the middle, Niecy. So I'm going to give away 10 shirts. I'm going to give away 5 of these for the guys. Niecy said there needs to be 5 more of these, and there needs to be some shirts for the girls, So everybody who liked this shirt, send the information. Send me an email and tell me you like it. Send me an email and tell me you like it. Every guy who likes this shirt, send me an email and tell me you like it. Let me know what you think on that. So I'm going to give away, so instead of 10 of these, I'm going to give away 5 of these. Yeah, Brenda, I got you. Niecy just put me on the spot. Okay, so let me see here. So I'm going to give away 5 of those. Let me see here. See, 5 of those. They don't really do really great shirts for the girls on this. Let me see. Yeah, they don't really do great shirts on Fashion Nova for the girls. Let me see. My wife has bought a couple of things on here, but she's bought pants. Let me see. All right, let me see. There's another top on here. So, all right, ladies, y'all tell me what y'all think. Ladies, let me know. Would you wear this top right here? I'll give away 5 of these tops to the ladies. What y'all think? I will give away 5 of these tops right here for the ladies. Ladies, what do y'all think about this top? The ladies who like this top, tell me you like it. Send me an email. Miss Matrix, send me your email. Send me the email. Let me know you like this shirt. I'm gonna give away 5 of these and 5 of the other ones. Okay. Angel Eyes, you like that? Niecy, you like that? Y'all see that email? Y'all better get it in. Y'all better get it in. All right, I got you, Danny. Y'all better send it in. Big Rabowski said that looked better than the men's soccer jersey. Boy, you got me rolling up in here, boy. You got me rolling. He said, look better than, hey, man, I like that soccer jersey. I like that soccer jersey. Reasonable price, and I can give away a bunch of them. So I'm going to give away 5 of the other ones, and I'm going to give away 5 of these for the ladies. What y'all think about that? Let's do it. That's 10. So I'm telling y'all now, ladies, if you like this shirt, make sure you put your YouTube handle in there. Tell me who your YouTube handle. Tell me you like this shirt. Give me your size. Give me your address. Let me know what we doing. Let me know what we doing. And I'll let you know. I'm going to send you an email, let you know if it went through or not. Richard said them shirts fire. Yeah, these for the ladies, though. Yeah, but again, those soccer style shirts, I'm gonna let Rambowski coin them. He said they're soccer style. Oh man, boy, Rambowski got me laughing. He talking about them doggone soccer shirts. But y'all make sure if y'all want those shirts right there, I'll be giving some more shirts away later on. Y'all already know. Oh, Poopy D said that joint you sent today, G, better than the first one. Yeah, I know, boy. Poopy D, man, I sent you a pretty dope one, man. Yeah, I sent you a pretty dope one. I did. And so what I'll do, let's see, let me check on a couple other things here. Renan Zanguini. Yeah, I probably can't ship to Brazil. That might be a problem right there. because I don't think this place ships to Brazil. All right, let me see here. All right, let me see a couple of things here. Then we're gonna move on to James Slater, man. I just like giving away things to my audience, man. Y'all have helped me so much. Let's see here. I'll be on the lookout for if I see something that's nicer and they have the sizes. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. It depends on your size. In men's, I'll probably send you, okay, tell you what. All right, men, how about this right here? I'll send you this hoodie instead of the soccer shirt. How about this? I'll send this hoodie right here instead of the soccer shirt. I'll send this hoodie right here. How about that? Yeah, I got you. Oh, no doubt, Danny, I got you on that. You in LA. I'm going to do this hoodie instead of, fellas, so I don't have to stutter. Fellas, let me know. Send me something in my email. Tell me if you like the hoodie or do you like the polo style shirt? Let me know. Send it to me in my email. Do you like the hoodie or the polo shirt? Send it to me in my email. Never know. I might have to give away 15. I might give away 5 hoodies, 5 shirts, 5 ladies shirts. What y'all think about that? And the ladies can get in on either one. The ladies, I'm sure, can wear that hoodie right there. Ladies like to wear hoodies even if they're men's. You know what, Chanel? I'm gonna do something different for the moderators. I know I'm gonna do something different for the moderators. I do have planned in the future for the moderators that I'm gonna send all the moderators something in particular, and it'll probably be some of my own merch that I'm going to send to the moderators. So y'all just stay tuned. Y'all kind of hold tight, moderators. But in the meanwhile, y'all can get into this right here for sure. So, Daryl Franklin, he said Bengals can't be choosy. I see you, Daryl. I see you. All right. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all send to my email address. I'm going to put this in here one more time. Put this in here one more time. So let me know, fellas. Let me know if you like the hoodie or do you like the polo shirt. Let me know what you like. Send that to my email address. Ladies, if y'all want to, y'all can get in on that hoodie. Y'all can get in on the hoodie. I ain't gonna let you double dip though. Yeah, I ain't gonna let you double dip. Y'all let me know what you like. Hoodie, polo shirt, ladies, and y'all let me know if y'all like the shirt. Send it to my email. I got you. I got you. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. And you ain't even got to do no raffle for it. I got you. Just send it and I'll let you know what's going down. Okay, Nisa, you like that hoodie? Make sure hey, Nisa, hit me up in my email. Let me see. I'm going to do it one more time. Y'all let me know what y'all like. All right, Darren Pose, you said you liked it. Okay. Y'all let me know what you like. And what I'll do, I'm going to figure out a way to pick out maybe 10. I said I'm going to do 10. But if I'm feeling lucky, I might even do 15. We're going to see what it do. Might do 15. Might do 15. All right, let me drop this on y'all too. Make sure, do not forget about this. I appreciate it. Quite a few of y'all have already went over there and subscribed. If you do not know, what I'm going to be doing during the playoffs is that I have another channel that I am starting up. The Cowboys are still going to be my main focus, so I will not be subtracting anything from the Cowboys channel. But I do have this, and we're going to talk more of football in general. We're going to talk more football in general. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to my new channel, the G Sports Nation. Make sure y'all subscribe to that. The G Sports Nation. We're at 77 subscribers right now. I plan to have a video up probably no later than Friday. And I'm probably going to start live streaming on it next week. I'll be live streaming on it next week for sure. So we're just going to talk more sports over there, stuff that we don't talk about on the Cowboys side. Appreciate you, my man, Darren Posey. Appreciate you. And I definitely would love for you moderators, I would definitely love for y'all to go over there and make sure y'all subscribe, because when I get my lives going, I want y'all to be the moderators over there too when I get this channel up and going, which I really do plan to start videos this week, and then I'm going to get all the live stream stuff set up, and I think I'll be ready to go on the live stream stuff next week so we can talk about just the entire NFL, so we don't have to take away from our Cowboys discussion talking about the other teams in the NFL, even though we will sprinkle some of that in going forward. But I wanted something more dedicated to other things because I want the Cowboys to be the main thing, because, I mean, I love the Cowboys. All this other stuff would just be me just giving information, but I got a passion and a love for the Dallas Cowboys. So, all right, I'm seeing a lot of people saying they love that hoodie. I'm getting a lot of people saying they love that hoodie. Now, if y'all just want them hoodies, like I said, if y'all just want them hoodies, I might just send out all hoodies. But some of the ladies seem like they like that other Dallas Cowboys shirt. So again, y'all just send me what y'all just send me the information in the email address. Christian Legal, don't worry. How do you become a mod? Just keep on staying with me. And you'll wake up and you'll have that you'll become a moderator just out of the blue. Yeah, everybody like that hoodie? All right, send it in. Tell me if you like that hoodie. We'll get it going. Let me know. All right, let's go over here to James Slater real quick. Let's check out James Slater. Sorry I had to stop on that. Nisa said everybody love that hoodie. All right. Make sure y'all let me know if you like the hoodie. Send me your size and information. Ladies, if you like that hoodie, remember, I think those men hoodies will be bigger, so take that into your mind. All right. Bass said he liked that polo. That's what I'm talking about. Rumbowski talking about it's a soccer shirt. Rumbowski called it a soccer. It's a soccer shirt. All right, Army Mom, send it in. I done put that email address in there. My man, Freddie Morales, how you doing? Good to see you. El Chuka in the house. All right. Hey, Bam, hey, let me tell you something. My son say it's always hoodie season. They don't care. I got one son, he be wearing them hoodies in June. He be wearing them in May, June, and July. Boy. Okay, Angel Eyes. All right. Hey, Steven, hey, I already said I ain't gonna let you double dip. All right, guys. Let's get over here to James Slater. Don't worry, I got a lot more giveaways we're gonna be doing over time. I'm in the process, man. I'm gonna get my own merch going, and we're gonna really have some fun with that. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna give away a ton of that before I even start selling it. And definitely, I got plans. The moderators, they are going to. I got plans for the moderators. They're gonna get some stuff. I got planned. Y'all gonna get some free merch. Free merch when I get that up and going. And don't y'all worry, some of y'all, if y'all are not moderators yet, I'm already eyeing some of y'all as moderators. I appreciate your support. If you're not a moderator yet, don't you worry. You will be soon. All right, let's get this thing going with Jane Slater.
Jane Slater. Jane, how the heck you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Man, it's been a crazy day, and it's been a crazy day for the Diggs family, has it not?
So, true story, I was up in Vermont visiting my brother and sister who just moved up there, and they just had a massive ice and snowstorm. My cell service wasn't working, so for the first time, and I think since I got into this business, I was truly disconnected. And I was actually going to make a call up to New England on Trevon's behalf, and I just heard about
your moderator sent me to Chevelle.
I don't know if I'll be making
You got the
that
wrench
call
by
now,
your
but
name.
that's
You're a
true.
moderator.
That's all,
All right,
that's been
appreciate you,
happening
Danny.
in real time in the last 30 minutes.
So it feels like one of the things we've been talking about, the timing of this Trevon Diggs move feels odd, but then there's other people who think it's kind of a opportunity for Diggs to maybe pick up with a playoff team.
Big, I have no clue who this dude is on the right. Man, I saw this dude earlier today, and I'm like, who in the world is that? I have no clue who this dude is. Mose Logan. You've been here for a minute, Mose Logan. All right, don't worry. I got you, Mose Logan. Yeah, you've been here for a minute. All right, y'all just stay tuned. It'll pop up on your screen before you know it.
Team, what is your take or what have you heard about this?
So I'll pull the curtain back a second. As I told you, I'm coming back. I'm tapping back in after being gone a few days, and I get a text message. I'm getting ready to go to a hair appointment, and it's from Trevon. He just writes, "Thank you, period. They just released me, period." And I was like, oh my gosh. Did me putting out the stuff about the TV, or did it create waves for him? Did me talking to him in the locker room and he just kept saying cover 2 was a problem? And I felt awful. Like,
Yeah.
Did I contribute to this? And so I immediately called him and he said, no, like, I'm good. I'm happy. And I was like, really? And he's like, yes. He's like, I'm healthy. Hopefully another team picks me up. And I think the reason why I'm sharing that with your audience is it had just gotten to the point where it wasn't working for both parties. And so, what are you going to do? Have a guy hang around a facility that knows you had a team that really kind of the distrust, I think, started when he trained away from the facility. Remember this summer?
Yeah.
And then they chose to fine him, which I don't remember them doing that to a player before Trevon. And so, they're trying to work him back. And then.
Hey, Lions, I'm not trying to be funny, but when I saw this dude today, I said, who in the world is this? I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm not even trying to be funny, but I saw this dude. I said, what? I had to do a double take. Stephon, he said, unfortunately, my name is pronounced like Trevon Diggs. Hey, it's all good. Big Rumbowski. I agree with you on this thing with Jane. And, I like Jane Slater, so don't take this in the wrong way. But Jane Slater is like one of these people to me that they're not really advocates for the team. If that makes sense. They're not really advocates for the team. And people got to understand that no matter what you do in life, you're probably going to have a bias. There are some things that you may be neutral on, but there'll be other things that you believe in and you're passionate about and you like, you love, and you're going to have a bias built in some form of fashion. And the way you report certain things. Me, when I talk about the Cowboys, while I am giving you facts, but I do have a bias towards the Cowboys. Even when I'm going to talk on G Sports Nation, there is no way I will be able to get the bias for the Cowboys out of my system. I will be able to talk, talk objectively about all of the situations. But when it comes to the Cowboys, I'm going to be objective, but then I also will be subjective from the standpoint of how I will present certain information. Because for me, I'm a fan of the Cowboys. I want what's best for the Cowboys. But sometimes sometimes these people who, but when it comes to the Cowboys, some of these people who actually, they're supposed to be, and maybe I got this all wrong, because Jane Slater doesn't actually work for the Cowboys. She doesn't actually work for the Cowboys, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe her position is different. But sometimes to me, she reports news like she's against the Cowboys. Like she's against the Cowboys. And so, sometimes I'd be struggling with that because, and the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying is because what Big Brombowski is saying is that Jane Slater actually thinks that it would have something to do with her. The reason why the Cowboys released Trevon Diggs early, there's nothing that Jane Slater did and could do to get Trevon Diggs released. The only thing that got Trevon Diggs released is Trevon Diggs. It's the only thing that got him released. Nothing else. Nothing else got him released. Nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. I have no clue of why she would even imagine in her mind that she got so much. I don't know what to even say about it. I mean, what could she have done that the Cowboys would go, yeah, Jane Slater, we're going to let go of her. We're going to let go of him because of Jane Slater. Stop it. Stop it. I am him. Appreciate that super chat again. Yeah, it's about that time. Time to clean house. I agree with you. I am him. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. It's time. For sure. It is time to clean house if I'm the Cowboys. But I'm laughing. I'm with you, Rombowski, that Jane actually thinks that she could be the reason. Man, we've heard enough enough locker interviews with Trevon Diggs that already had us questioning certain things.
It's just Murphy's Law. Anything that could go wrong did with the corner situation, and they're still not playing Trevon.
Did you think the situation was broken then, going all the way back to the rehab and the fine, and they've just been trying to figure it out, but it was always going to be broken from there?
I think there was some elements of it, and I'm sure it didn't help that when, Micah was frustrated and that was Trevon's guy. I just don't know if the optics were there. And I will say this about Trevon, and, I don't think I'm saying this to be inappropriate here, but he does have a sensitivity to the opinions of people on the internet, and I can imagine.
Wait a minute. What? No way. No way, Captain Obvious. No way, Captain Obvious. Did I not just say earlier about Trevon Diggs, he's real sensitive? Nisa, we were laughing about it a few weeks ago, how Bubba Dub said something about him, and he lost his mind. I would never even pay attention to Bubba Dub. Bubba Dub is a personality. He covers the Cowboys, and sometimes he sometimes he covers the Cowboys in a good way, and when they don't win, Bubba Dub go off on them. So I would never as a player go against a personality like that. I would never do that because it's a recipe for disaster. But Jane ain't telling us nothing new. Man, we been knowing that Trevon Diggs is ultra sensitive.
Imagine around the facility. And that doesn't make him a weak guy. That doesn't make him a terrible guy. It's just he does care. And I think a lot of that noise.
Now, hold on a second. Now, this kind of stuff right here bothers me. Jane Slater is actually almost justifying the behavior because she's admitting there's some behavior issues. And the reason why I know she's admitting the behavior issues is because she's talking about he's sensitive. He's sensitive. And then it's almost like she's trying to turn this into some kind of mental health issue of he's acting out because he cares. Come on, Jane. This kind of stuff bothers me when people start talking like this, because you don't think the other players on the team care. So we don't think the other we don't think the other players on the team care. So it's they're not acting out like Trevon Diggs, but he gets the pass. He gets the pass because he cares so much. If there's anybody on this team this year that should have been going off and throwing helmets into the wall like Charles Haley did in 1992, it's Dak Prescott. Because everything around Dak Prescott failed except for Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott isn't carrying on like this. Come on. Come on, Jane.
And even when I would listen to certain, not just you guys, but radio shows I'd see on the internet, it started taking a real personal turn. I think people forget that these guys are humans, and I think that's always, wow, woe is me. You know, I could put up with people saying things about me for $30 million, $40 million a year, but it no amount of money makes you feel good about yourself when everyone's just telling you you're trash, you know?
Jane, it's that conversation right there. It's that conversation right here that Jane is having. I've had this conversation before. Me and 72, we were talking about this and how these guys are human beings. But we have got to understand something. When you decide that you're going to be a professional football player, you sign up for this. You sign up for it. I don't care what anyone says, you sign up for the criticism. Because you have a job that is critiqued. And you are critiqued by your play. Period. It's what it is. If you are an $18 million per year cornerback, you better get ready. Because you're going to be held to a higher standard than an $800,000 a year cornerback. Get out of here with that stuff. Get out of here with this stuff. It's that kind of dumb nonsense that's the problem for this team. That's dumb talk. This team gets coddled way too much. No, I'm not holding back. I'm a preacher. I'm a minister. I'm a preacher of the gospel. It is my job to preach the word of God on Sundays and Wednesdays and every day of the week that I get the opportunity. It's my job to do it. And if I'm not doing it, and somebody calls me out for not doing it, yeah, I'm a human, but I'm a preacher. And it is my job to preach the word. And if I'm no longer preaching the word, so I'm supposed to get in my feelings because somebody is telling me that I'm not doing what I'm getting, that I'm supposed to be doing? Stop it. Stop it. It's this type of behavior that is destroying the minds of our own youth. Destroying the minds of our youth. Then we got this lady, $30 million. $30 million. Pay me $30 million. I'll show you how to act. Pay me $30 million. I'll show you how to act. Call me any name you want to. Call me any name you want to, as long as you don't put your hands on me. Call me anything you want to. And it's not what people are saying about you. The issue is if what they are saying about you is true. If it's true, go and prove it. If it's not true, don't worry about it. That's why I always say, don't focus on proving nothing to people. Be who you are. If you good, you good. If you not, you not. Bottom line. Bottom line. And if you're going to put yourself in the court of public opinion, you're playing on television. You're playing in front of millions of people. You're getting millions of dollars. and you gonna talk about you sensitive, stop playing then. Stop playing. Stop playing. We're not gonna have no mental health. We're not gonna have no mental health lessons and then start trying to put the whole league and the media on notice. Ooh, please, you cannot criticize. Don't critique a player. If they're playing bad, don't say they're playing bad. You're in the wrong profession. I'm just being honest. You're in the wrong profession. If you don't want to be critiqued, you're in the wrong profession. Do not put yourself in a position to be seen. I post things. I post my sermons. I post sermons on YouTube. I post them on my Facebook page. I do those things. And I do those things knowing full well that if I'm saying something that does not line up with the word of God, somebody's going to call me on it. And even when I say things that's going to line up with the word of God, people who don't like it will still call me on it. Do you think I stopped talking and speaking and preaching the truth? Stop it. She is on here. Tatiana, you're right. Somebody else just said it too. This woman is way too invested in Trevon Diggs. What? So you are on here telling us how Trevon Diggs feels? So you have decided you're going to tell us how Trevon Diggs feels. This is crazy. This couldn't be me. I'd be sending her a text right now. Hold on, Jane. I don't need you on radio telling anybody I'm sensitive. I don't need you on the radio telling people I'm justified in acting like a spoiled brat from time to time. I don't need you on there. This is crazy work.
Yeah. And so I think that in combination with a defense that never suited his talents. I mean, when he was drafted, he is a see ball, get ball guy. And, and I've heard a couple stories even on the defense right now as it relates to the Cowboys. It's my understanding every week they're being told to do something different.
Wow.
Eberflus is. And you're mixing it up a bunch. You've got young guys learning on the fly. Think how many new pieces you've played on that defense this year, whether it be at corner, whether it be at ends, whether it be at tackle, whether it be at linebacker. And when you've got that stuff going on, it's really hard to have cohesion. And, one pushback I got was, well, DeMarvion Overshone learned the cover too. Yeah, but for all the years that Trevon's been, you're asking someone to learn a completely different skill set. Now, my argument back to
this is ludicrous. You're talking about an $18 million per year cornerback, and you can't play cover two. You can't play cover two. Cry me a river, Jane. I'm sorry, cry me a river. I'm not listening to you defend Trevon Diggs. I wish I was on this radio in that interview because I would have been pushing back on her. I would have been pushing back on her. You're supposed to be a top 5 cornerback. I've even seen people, they use this example of the guy from Oakland that they traded to the Eagles and they tried to change him to a man cornerback. I still say, I actually wouldn't invest in cornerbacks like that. I want somebody who can do it all. I want somebody who can do it all. See, the issue with man-to-man requires more ability in a sense. But the problem for some men, some players with cover two requires you to think more. You would think that it would be easier for some players, but it's not easier for some players because they won't get one way of playing outside of their mind. Queen said Diggs wasn't sensitive when he and Micah was going during Micah podcast about quarterbacks throwing Dak Prescott under the bus. Queen, it's amazing, isn't it? Queen, isn't it amazing that some of the most sensitive people can dish it, but they can't take it? It's amazing to me that Trevon Diggs can be so sensitive that when he, as a player, is speaking out against Matt Eberflus and saying that Matt Eberflus' system is, and maybe we need to do this and maybe we need to do that, it's okay that Matt Eberflus is supposed to take what he's doing in stride and not even worry about it. It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me on your podcast when you clearly don't include your own quarterback. Don't even say anything about it. It's amazing you're not sensitive. It's amazing to me when you were asked just not even 2 weeks ago, who on this team helped you get through some of the things that you got through? And you threw your entire team under the bus and said, my mama, cry me a river. Cry me a river. One thing I've noticed about sensitive folk are very sensitive, but then they don't want, but when they say things that hurt people's feelings, they want everybody else just to take it. Oh, I'm sensitive, but you're not. So I get to say whatever I want to say to you, but you can't say anything to me. If you can't take it, don't dish it. And being sensitive is not an excuse last time I checked. It is not an excuse. And if you are that sensitive, you are in the wrong business. As Tatiana said something. She said, I understand where she is coming from, but it is what? It's called the football business. You have to learn how to deal. And if you want to go get you a psychiatrist, go get you one. She said, I feel for him, but it comes with the territory. Angel Eyes, I tell you, sometimes I struggle. I not only struggle, but I struggle. I struggle at times. Feeling sorry for men who are making millions of dollars for playing a kid's game. If there is anybody that could have a bad attitude again, it's Dak Prescott. Trevon Diggs has never taken the criticism that Dak Prescott has taken. I remember in the Green Bay Packer, the Green Bay Packer playoff game, DallasCowboys.com came out against Dak Prescott and said the reason why the Dallas Cowboys lost is that Dak Prescott threw two interceptions. What? Trevon Diggs, in the grand scheme of things, Trevon Diggs, man, the stuff that he is crying about, man, Dak Prescott would be laughing at that stuff. The things that have been said about Dak Prescott, there have been people who have said things like they're glad that Dak Prescott mama died. You don't think Dak Prescott read that stuff? We don't think Dak Prescott read when they said they were glad his brother passed away. We don't think that Dak Prescott see and heard that stuff. Come on. She's actually trying to give this man an excuse for being a crybaby. This is crazy to me. This is crazy to me, man. Napoleon. You know what? This is where the Cowboys and Al Harris. This is where the Cowboys and Al Harris got beef. See, Al Harris, it is pretty obvious. Al Harris was a Trevon Diggs advocate. And because Al Harris was a Trevon Diggs advocate, it got bad blood between him and the Cowboys. This is what I heard. This is why the Cowboys got bad blood. I think it was Brian Broaddus that was talking about this. This is why the Cowboys have bad blood with Al Harris. Why else would they let Al Harris go? They got bad blood with Al Harris because of Trevon Diggs. This is crazy to me. I mean, this sounds like, man, I'm just telling you. She in a little too deep. Jane in a little too deep, if y'all ask me. Jane in a little too deep, man.
Trevon was, you just got to learn it. You know,
Right.
There's parts of my job that I don't love, right? But
Yeah.
you do it because that's the expectation. But I think there were limitations coming back from, obviously, the injury. And then I think there
Yeah.
were limitations based on what his skill set was. And
Yeah.
so, you know, my biggest question when this whole thing happened was, why now? You know, because the money you got to follow the money, right? Like, it just seemed like it would have made more sense for them financially to get rid of him post June 1. But that's why I feel like the Cowboys him out a little bit, and then, you know, he's the one.
This part right here is not being talked about enough. The Cowboys actually helped out Trevon Diggs. The Cowboys could have really did Trevon Diggs wrong. The Cowboys could have literally said, we're just not going to play you this game. You're going to be a healthy scratch for the last game of the season, and then you're going to sit back until the beginning of the new season, and then in March, we'll designate you as a post-June 1st cut. But what did the Cowboys do? Sometimes the Cowboys, man, you got to, I mean, as much as people sometimes say that the Cowboys don't like certain players, you got to explain to me, one, why the Cowboys sent Micah Parsons to Green Bay. Even though I heard Green Bay, of all the teams, had the best offer. Now, you got to explain to me, which I understand why they did it, but a part of this don't make sense. Why would you give Trevon Diggs the opportunity to play for another team this season in the postseason? What does that benefit the Cowboys to let him do it? Because it helps out Trevon Diggs. Man, I laugh at people. They can't tell me. Yeah, Nnamdi Asomugha. That was his name, Titan. Nnamdi Asomugha. Hey, Army Mom, I'm with you. she taking Angel Lion, she doing more harm than helping the case. I mean, she out here talking about this man is sensitive. Man, hey, you in the wrong business. You're in the wrong business, man. If you are sensitive, let me give you a few pointers. Stay off social media. Stay off social media. Stay off of it. I told people this a couple of weeks ago in a sermon. I got news for this generation. Social media is not conducive for mental health. I be laughing at folk crying about mental health and stay on social media, telling all they doggone business. Stay off social media. Don't do any job in the public. Don't do any job in the public. I don't care what it is. Don't do any job in the public if you sensitive. Don't do any job in the public where you do something that people pay to watch, or people come to get information. People come to get entertained. Do not do any of that stuff. You're in the wrong profession, sir. It's a meritocracy. Football, it actually goes against being sensitive, because the very point of being a football player, it's a competition. It's a competition. And again, it's funny to me. Ain't nobody talking about Matt Eberflus sensitive. She's making the case for Trevon Diggs. Well, make that same case for Matt Eberflus. Who's not calling Matt Eberflus trash right now? Who's not calling Eberflus trash? Can he not be sensitive? Now, let's push back on something else she's saying. So, something else she's saying about all the changes that the Cowboys are making week to week. So we do know why they're making these changes week to week. They're making these changes week to week because these players have not been able to get Matt Eberflus' system. So they're coming back every single week. And this is the crazy part. Rather than them saying, learn the system, learn the system, learn the system, they're trying to make a change every single week, trying to figure out a way to get the best out of these players. That's a tall glass. You know, somebody said that Trevon Diggs was right about the Cowboys system. I'm going to say it again. I don't think he was right. Because even James Slater now is coming back on the other side of this and saying his skill set was not conducive for, it couldn't work with what Matt Eberflus was doing. And they're basically talking about cover two. But in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't just Diggs, because Diggs says play man to man. So y'all explain to me, Tell me the other cornerbacks that could play man-to-man on this team. Tell me the other cornerbacks. These other cornerbacks could hardly play man-to-man. The linebackers definitely can't play man-to-man. The safeties, if anybody trusts these safeties to play man-to-man, something is wrong with you. I'm telling us, the problem with the Cowboys defense, it's a combination of two things. Matt Eberflus and his stubbornness to make necessary adjustments, and some of it is the players. We've been talking about for 3 years now problems with these players not being able to get a system. They couldn't get Mike Zimmer's system. Mike Zimmer had to literally put some Dan Quinn stuff in the system because they refused to move off the Dan Quinn system. I want the Cowboys to move on from all those players who think like that. If you can't play something other than man, we're moving on. We're moving on. You have got to get you some versatile players. Moving on, man. Moving on. Yeah, Kevin Edwards, Dak Prescott has a strong will. If Trevon Diggs would listen to Dak Prescott, he could probably be helped out with some of these things. But he don't want to be helped out. And somebody else said something here. Let me see. Tatiana. Exactly right. He's sensitive, but he's a hothead. Exactly. You know, and it's funny to me because people act like that all of these other players are not dealing with Jerry Jones. They're not like all the other players are not dealing with Jerry Jones, not dealing with the media, not dealing with Stephen Jones, like they're not dealing with a bad defense, like they're not dealing with Matt Eberflus, like they're not dealing with all of the same things. So why are they not carrying on like this? They're all just saying, let's try to make the best of it. Let's try to learn the system and let's go with what we're getting paid at the end of the day to do a job. And let's just pray at the end of the season it turns out. And I hope Jerry Jones comes back. And I know it's going to be tough because I think we're going to be, y'all watch what I tell you. We're going to be talking about some of the same things next season. Because if the Cowboys get a brand new DC, it's probably going to take a little bit of time for these players to catch on to that new system. I think it'll be easier for the players to catch on to a new system if you will let go of these players like Trevon Diggs, which they've already done with Trevon Diggs. Let go of the rest of them who can't do anything else. Let go of them. I'm sure there are other teams, other players that go through the same thing. Miss Matrix, she said, how is she covering for Diggs by saying Flus is trash? Well, Miss Matrix, let's just keep it balanced. Two things can be true. She's already said that he don't have the skill set either. Only thing is, she's saying it because she's saying it in a way where she knows he's sensitive. Yeah, she's saying he don't have the skill set. And she's also saying he should try to learn something new. She just said, I do things on my job, and I have to do things on my job that I don't like doing or didn't know how to do. I have to learn how to do new things. So two things can be true. But again, I'm laughing. Flus, we can call Flus trash, but we can't call Diggs trash. I don't call him trash, but if other people want to call him trash, it is what it is. It's what they sign up for. Some people say they don't sign up for it. No, I think they do sign up for it. I think they do sign up for it. It's just, it just comes with the territory. It is. I'm with you, Army. Jane be protesting too much. She really does.
On taking the hit, if you think about it. When we look at the numbers, I just put this out. He'll count as $8.5 dead cap money in 2026. The Cowboys will now owe him $0 cash. Zero. A post-June 1st cut would have saved $4.25 million cap money in 2026. In other words, it's beneficial for the Cowboys to move forward, and it's a clean break for Trevon that might have to suck it up a little bit, but there could be a market for him as a third or fourth corner on a team making a postseason push, and an opportunity for him to sort of rewrite the narrative about who he is and whether he still wants to play football. Because talking to Trevon, He does. It's just, and I know I don't want this to sound like, I'm his PR team or whatever. He doesn't have an agent right now, by the way. And so that, I think, has also complicated some of this. I think an agent, when the whole TV thing fell on his head, I'll be honest, guys, when I first heard it, I was like, that is such a lie. And he's hurting his team. They need him to play. And so I was kind of annoyed with him because I was like, man, if he was my teammate, I'd be pissed. And so, and I had heard some of the crazy stuff out there on the internet, right? And one made sense to me, and I'll just be honest, it included a poll. But when I went up to him in the locker room 2 weeks ago, I just straight up said, what's going on with you? And he said, what do you mean? I go, how did you get concussed? And to be fair, it's none of my business. He could have told me it's none of your business.
Right.
But he said a TV fell on my head. And I said, that doesn't make sense. And I was like, I'm trying to help you here. But I was like, do you realize how absurd that sounds? I go, let me tell you what I heard. And when I told him the pole version story, he said there was a pole. He was like, it was a pole hanging from the ceiling for the TV. He goes, I'll show you a picture of it. And I was like, wait a minute.
This is banana bonkers to me. Jane Slater is she's actually saying that the poll story about the TV is true. Y'all do know that's what she's selling us, right? Jane Slater is basically selling us. She is literally his PR. She's basically telling us the story is true. That's what she's telling us. She's telling us the story is true that nobody believes. Nobody believes that story. Nobody believes. I don't even know if Diggs believes it. Angel Eyes said he sabotaged his whole career on some high school best friend stuff. But your best friend get it paid. I doubt he will be picked up by another team. The question for me is, which team would he be picked up by? Because I don't see any team that's truly contending picking him up. Rumbowski said because she's making an excuse for Diggs by saying fans hurt his feelings this season. And coaches didn't take advantage of his skill set. This is crazy to me, man. Terry Tatum, you just asked the question of the night, bro. You just asked the question of the night, Terry. Why did he text her first? Why Jane Slater? I'm with you. You just asked a question I hadn't even thought about. Why did he text her first? Why? Why her? I can tell you part of it is I think he took it to her because he knew she would advocate for him. And then the next question is, why does she advocate for him so hard? It's crazy to me. Danny said Trevon Diggs, bully troublemaker like Mike. Yeah. I would say that to a degree too. Made Al Harris lead the Cowboys. I'm hearing it too. Hearing it right, G. That's what is being said. That Al Harris got a bad rap with the Cowboys because of Diggs. That's why the Cowboys let him walk out the door. So the Cowboys let him walk out the door. Rumbowski says Slater, he says second, Slater didn't bother finding out the Cowboys side. And now we know he didn't want to travel with the team back to the DFW after the game. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Big Rumbowski. I just wonder what she keeps thinking every time she goes to bat for him. She goes to bat for him and then comes back foot in mouth. She comes back foot in mouth. Shouldn't be advocating for him. Just shouldn't be advocating for him. Mixed Matrix said, I'm not saying he didn't play his part in this mess. I'm only saying she's not lying about Flus being trash. Oh, I get you on that part. Yeah. I get you. I just think when she started talking about being sensitive, Miss Matrix, the only thing, the part that I got a problem with is that she's only telling that Diggs is sensitive, but no one else is sensitive. I said this a couple of weeks ago, even about Matt Eberflus. I said, I have to remember he's a human being. I just wonder how he feels going home every day knowing that people are calling him trash. But at the end of the day, he signed up for it. When you sign up to be a coach, a defensive coordinator, you sign up to be a head coach, get ready. You signed up to be critiqued because your record is your critique. The stats are your critique. And when people just point out the stats, when they point out the film, when they point out your record, I mean, we can call it critique. Well, I mean, we could, calling someone trash, and I don't like to use that word. I try to use it very, very sparingly. I don't like to use it. But at the end of the day, I mean, if you're not, if I don't call you trash, if I just say you're not good, what's the difference? If I say you're not good, what's the difference? But boy, she is seriously advocating for Trevon Diggs. It's crazy to me. She's even selling us on the TV poll. Let me tell y'all something. I've done this stuff before. And if you're talking about there was a pole hanging up from the roof of your house that a TV is going to hang on, and if that pole dropped down from that roof, I don't care if it's a foot, you're going to the emergency room, and you're not going to have a concussion. You're going to the emergency room. You're probably going to have a gas knocked in your head. Ask anybody who does installs on televisions or anything of that nature that you have to install from the roof. Man, you have to be very careful on that stuff. I don't care if the pole is not even a heavy pole. If it's coming from about a foot and it's got a round edge, man, this is crazy to me. You mess around and get hit by something like that. Now you are going to the emergency room, and you're not going to have to tell us you got hit by it. We're going to see the evidence. The evidence is going to be there. But you telling us that you got hit in the head with a pole from a television trying to hang it up. You go back to the Cowboys facility, you got concussion symptoms, but you didn't go to the doctor? Man, make this make sense. Make this make sense.
I don't think anyone even just asked him to explain it. And I'll tell you guys this. He immediately went home after practice and sent me a photo and a video of that setup. And when you look at it, that makes sense.
But, you mentioned it. There are a lot.
But the team's not going to give him the benefit of the doubt at that point.
Yeah, sure.
Sense?
And
So again, just dissecting what Jane is saying. So I'm going back to Terry Tatum. Let me just go back to Terry Tatum for a moment. Let me just ask y'all this. So if it's so easy to explain to Jane Slater, explain to me again, why doesn't he explain this to everybody else from the beginning? If there's nothing to hide in this story, if this story is really that simple, because y'all do know Jane is explaining this story matter-of-factly. She's explaining it matter-of-factly like, hey, man, if you saw what I saw, I mean, you would say this is actually a true story. But why is he only showing you? Why? I'm confused on this. And not only why is he only showing Jane, why is he saying this to Jane at this stage of the story? Why? Why is he saying it? It don't make sense. It don't make sense. You can't make what she's saying make sense. And this is why the Cowboys didn't come forward with that story. Because the Cowboys, that story doesn't make sense to the Cowboys. Even looking at pictures and a video, I promise you, and Jerry, y'all might not remember this, but Jerry cryptically said, there's no video evidence. There's no video evidence of the pole hitting him in the head. The only thing they have is what Diggs said. That's all they have. That's what he said. That's all he said. So doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense to me in the least. Jane is killing me with this. I'm going back to Terry Tatum. One, why did he text her first? Two, man, they seem to be pretty close here. Miss Matrix said if the Cowboys couldn't get Zimmer's system, why would Flores work here? Miss Matrix, I'm going to tell you why Brian Flores will work here. Because they're about to clean house. Yep. Star Guardian X. Let me put up here what Star Guardian X said. Star Guardian X was joking when he said this, but I think there may be some truth to it. Star Guardian said, too optimistic, but I'm saying it anyway. Flores said, Jerry, prove to me you want me. I can't do anything with Diggs. Jerry said, I'll see you soon. Let's go even deeper on this. Let's go even deeper. Who was the problem in the Zimmer system? Diggs was one of the problems in the Zimmer system. I can remember it like yesterday in that Atlanta Falcons game where Diggs took the wrong receiver and got burned out of his socks. And Zimmer came right on the press conference and said, that's not on me. Zimmer said, we practiced that. Diggs should have knew what to do. We practice that all the time. It's nothing new. Zimmer said that. One of the ways to get Flores here, get rid of those players. Get rid of them. Get rid of these players who can't learn something new. Get rid of them. If you got players who can't learn or don't want to learn, because it's not a can't. It's not a can't. Diggs is too talented. Diggs is too talented to be saying he can't play or for anybody to say he can't play cover two. There's a difference in can't and won't. There's a difference. And I think with Diggs, it was a won't. I don't want to. Diggs is too dang on talented. Diggs couldn't sell me on the fact he couldn't play cover two. He can't sell me on it. Miss Matrix said, you're right, G. It's part of their job description. Listen to people talk bad about you after every game. Here's 23 million sold. Miss Matrix, let me tell you how what you're saying is so much more true than people may realize. That when they sign those contracts, guys, do you know they actually put in the contract after every game, you have to be available for an interview, win or lose. Now, as you're looking at those dollar signs and you're hearing win and those dollar signs, you're like, no big deal. No big deal, because you know, when we win, I don't mind talking. I'm getting that paycheck. I don't mind talking. But when you lose, I've always said this. I'm like, man, imagine having to come up to the podium like Dak Prescott did in 2023. Dak Prescott up there in tears almost. The whole world is blaming Dak Prescott for that loss. Dak Prescott still stepped up to that podium, almost in tears. And it just had to take all of that. Just take all of that criticism. Well, Dak knows on Monday he's going to get a check so big, hey, it makes it a little bit easier to sleep. They actually tell them this stuff when they sign contracts. You do know that you're going to have to give interviews after every game. These guys don't have a choice in this. When I say they sign up for this, they literally sign up for this. Bottom line. They sign up for it. They sign up for it. This is why we've been seeing Brian Schottenheimer giving all these interviews. You think he's giving them because he wants to? No, they're making them giving them. They're making him give those interviews because that's what you sign up for, being a coach in this league, and especially being the coach of America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. They sign up for it. And I mean that literally. They sign up for it. Chanel, You got to tell me, what is Jay? Chanel said, what is Jay trying to help him do? I'm puzzled. Me too. Miss Major said, why would you take a picture of the pole? Need proof, Diggs? Convenient. Boy, I mean, this whole thing this whole thing with Jane is kind of strange, man. It's kind of strange. Miss Major said, but gee, I don't think she made it up. I don't think she made it up either. I think she's saying what he told her. That's probably what Diggs told. The question is why? Why would he make up that lie? Miss Matrix, you just asked the second $1 million question of the night. Why would he make it up? This whole story with Diggs is crazy. Angel I said we know why. Boy, I ain't gonna even get it started. I'm not gonna get it started. But I'm gonna tell you this. I mean, I'm just telling you, man. I'm just being honest with you. I mean, I'm not funny or nothing like that, but man, Diggs ain't no ugly dude. I'm just telling you. Diggs ain't no ugly dude. I'm just laughing. Miss Matrix, I think you asked your own question. G. Diggs texted her because he wanted his side out there. There it is. Cowboys didn't text her because Jerry gonna tell it himself. But Miss Matrix, think about this. Jerry said he refused to tell the Trevon Diggs story. Brian Schottenheimer said he refused to tell the Trevon Diggs story. If he wants it out there, they said he'll put it out there. They didn't explain it. And even when Jerry did explain it, Jerry explained it kind of like, I don't know. He said all I can tell you is there's what Diggs told us, and then there's what happened. Because Jerry was basically saying he didn't believe it. Jerry was saying he didn't believe it. Because, Miss Matrix, how can Jerry tell his part of the story? This was what Jerry was relaying to us. Jerry said he didn't see it, and there's no video evidence to prove what Trevon Diggs is saying. He said, so you just got to look at the evidence, look at what Diggs said, and then there's your... Boy, this story is so crazy. Boy, this story is so crazy. It don't even make sense. It don't make sense in no universe. Because at the end of the day, the only thing she's doing is taking his word for it. That's all she's doing. That's all she's doing. Because Diggs showed the Cowboys that same evidence. And Jerry's conclusion is there's no video to prove what he said. There's no video.
Jane, do you think, you mentioned he had a sensitivity to him, and as we all do you think that the combination of Micah getting traded, but also, do you think maybe he lost a sponsor in the locker room when Al Harris departed for Chicago?
Absolutely. And it was my understanding that guys like Micah and Trevon, they wanted Mike Zimmer to stay around. Now, to be fair, you guys, let's not rewrite history. They weren't exactly on board with Zim when he started. Remember?
Yeah.
It was Micah who said, well, he's going to have to adapt to me. And I found that, I was like, good luck with that. Like, I know Zimmer well. But when he didn't come back, it was my understanding the thought was Zim was coming back. And then a lot of them found out on the internet that it was going to be Eberflus.
No, Zim, Brian Broaddus made it clear. Zimmer didn't come back because Zimmer wanted to be the head coach. And it leads me to believe that Zimmer knew at some point Mike McCarthy was going to be let go. Zimmer knew McCarthy was going to be let go. So Zim wanted the head coaching job. Zim didn't want to be the defense coordinator for the Cowboys. I'm sure Jerry would have paid him $4 million. He didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it. He wanted to be the head coach for the Cowboys. And so that's why Zim didn't come back. And again, the Al Harris situation, I think she's kind of touching on it. Al got in trouble with the Cowboys because of Trevon Diggs.
A lot of the offensive players were kind of asked about Schottenheimer, but that one made more sense to me that you would include the locker room, right? Because Schottenheimer hadn't been a first-time coach yet, but he had been their OC, and I knew the guys really liked Schotty. So it made sense that they'd want to ask the offensive players about that versus their defensive coach. Now, I could be wrong. They could have gone to defensive players and asked about Eberflus or Zim, and maybe I just haven't talked to that person. But the people I've talked to said they were never asked about who would make sense as a coach.
But they couldn't ask. And Broadus is giving, I think, the best insight on this. It wasn't about asking the players, because at the end of the day, it does no good to ask the players if Zimmer doesn't want to come back. And Zimmer did not want to come back as the Cowboys defensive coordinator. There is nothing on record talking about Zim wanting to be the DC, but there is record of Zim saying that he wanted to be the head coach of the Cowboys. And if I'm not mistaken, I might have did a video on that last year. So, my mom said, nailed it. Big difference between can't and won't. You guys decide. That's it. What stops a lot of people is can't, not won't. What stops a lot of people is won't and not can't. A lot of times people can do way more than they think they can do. They just don't want to do it. Yeah, again, Mississippi Chevelle. People don't understand that when I say they sign up for this, they literally sign up for this. They sign up for it. They know the criticism is coming. Angel said, that's why I go so hard for Dak. Angel, I said, that's why I go so hard for Dak. That mess ain't easy, yet it makes it look easy. Angel Eyes, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm one of these preachers that I just preach truth. I don't care who feelings it hurt. And I can tell you, just as a person who preaches, and sometimes the feedback you get from people don't know how hard that is. You know, you're the preacher, the minister of a congregation. You preach a sermon that you know that goes against somebody's lifestyle and people's lifestyles, and you're telling them they need to repent and live their life for God through Jesus. And you're telling them those things. And some people, they get their feelings hurt and they may say things about you. People leave congregations or whatever the case may be. And people don't understand that stuff, man. It bothers you. It bothers you, but you understand at the end of the day, this is what you signed up for. You don't get to tell people how to live their life and don't think sometimes they're not going to be upset. You don't get to do that. You just got to make sure you know what you know, and the truth is the truth, and the word is, and you stand on the word. But at the end of the day, you sign up for it. Every football player, I'm sure they understand, and especially at the point in his career where he is. But we've seen time after time where Diggs, where he can dish it, can't take it.
And just because you're used to the circus atmosphere that sometimes comes to this team, I threw out there that I can't totally rule out that the Cowboys made this move now because nobody was talking about them going into the...
I don't buy this stuff right here. I'm actually tired of this talk. I'm tired of this talk of saying the Cowboys try to stay in the news. If a player if a player goes to another team's stadium, you play in Washington, and everybody is supposed to ride back, and there is a player who says, can I stay back? And you say, no, come back with the team. We came here as a team. We're leaving here as a team. And that said player doesn't come back with the team. Stop this stupid stuff. That player should be cut. Bottom line, cut that player. Cut that player. Somebody says, well, if it was Dak Prescott, they wouldn't do that. Dak Prescott wouldn't do that. Stop it. Dak wouldn't do this dumb stuff. Dak is too mature to do this dumb stuff. Most of the players on this team are too mature to do this dumb stuff. And it seems like to me, Diggs wanted to get cut. Oh, I'm good. He wanted to get cut. This is stupid. This is absolute stupid talk for this guy to say the Cowboys did this to stay in the doggone. Man, the Cowboys could do a plethora of things to stay in the media outside of cutting Trevon Diggs. No, they should have cut Trevon Diggs for this. They should have cut him for it. And this is the reason why I say that if I was a team, you couldn't get me to sign Trevon Diggs after you tell me this story, that the reason why he got cut, and I'm laughing that Jane is talking without all the information. This is why Kanye West said it best. You got to be careful fixing your lips like collagen to say something, and then you're going to have to come back apologizing. I'm paraphrasing, but this is why you got to be careful what you say. You got to be careful trying to be subjective rather than objective, because now this Jane Slater's interview looks even more bad on her, because you're telling us this man is sensitive, but at the same time, this man is doing things that goes against what everybody knows. Because some people saying stuff like, well, they do this, sometimes players stay back. And every person that I've heard talk about this say that is not the case. Players don't stay back at the opposing teams unless they've been injured and they're in the hospital. Teams don't do that. Teams do not do that stuff. Players do not do that stuff. Teams don't allow players to do that on a regular basis. Man, people just lie to lie.
The last season and into the last game of the season.
I do not believe what this bald head dude is saying. I don't know his name. I don't believe what he's saying.
No, I actually don't agree with that.
Thank you, Jane.
I can see why you would think that. I just think
I don't see why he would think it.
I think it had become a situation where the one thing that we've killed the Cowboys for, and I think that they've gotten better at this year, was I had always argued, why do you wait on contracts with CeeDee Lamb? And as it was explained to me, it takes two to tango, and at the time, Tori Dandia's agent was at the Olympics. And so while they were trying to get in touch with them, they weren't always getting as much feedback as they wanted from the agent and CD. Okay, so that's fine. I'll move on from that. See, the problem is you have to ask questions, and I think a lot of people don't ask questions. So it's easy for us to speculate on things. And then as it relates to this situation,
do y'all see Frank Lawrence 320 comment in the Is anybody looking at Frank Lawrence 320 comment down here? Stop. I'm going to read it in a minute. I hope people not doing this. This is crazy work, Frank Lawrence.
If they had dragged this thing out till post-June 1st, that affects how you draft.
Yes.
That affects if you're going to keep Eberflus or not, schematically what makes sense for us from a personnel standpoint.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because from a personnel standpoint, it didn't seem like they had the pieces for what made Eberflus's defenses good. And by the way, go look at his defensive numbers in Chicago. They were good.
Yeah.
Guys, this is the piece I will be working on after the last game. I got to know what happened to Matt Eberflus. I have to know. This isn't just about Matt Eberflus. Why did Matt Eberflus get here? Even with the 6-game losing streak in Chicago, his defense was not ranked last. It wasn't ranked 31st, 30, 29. Matt Eberflus' defense was not bad. They were actually losing games in the last 2 minutes of games. But their defense was not bad. His defenses historically have not been bad. Why? did Matt Eberflus defense, why did it get so bad when he came to Dallas? I had never heard from anyone that Matt Eberflus defenses were bad. Now, I looked at it when we first talked about it, and I said I didn't see it as being like ultra successful, like top 5 and NFC, AFC championship level defenses and Super Bowl level defenses, because that's what I call successful. But when you look at his record, when you look at the stats, I mean, he had a pretty good defense. What happened? What happened? What happened in Dallas to where Matt Eberflus? Now, we already knew he wasn't a good head coach in Chicago. I don't think he did great. I don't think he did good at all at the head coach position. But as it pertains to his defense, when he took over the defensive play calling, they skyrocketed to the top of the charts in defense. What happened in Dallas? I think a part of what happened in Dallas is players who said, I can't. Players who said, I can't, when in reality, they just were saying, I won't. And when you got a player like Diggs, the Cowboys, this is why the Cowboys were very perturbed with Diggs. Diggs is supposed to be a leader on defense. And rather than Diggs advocating for the coaching staff, advocating for the scheme and trying to help the young guys learn the scheme and all of those things, Diggs came out against the scheme almost immediately. Almost immediately, Diggs comes out against the scheme. And when you get a guy like Diggs going against the scheme, what do you think that does for everybody else's psyche? What happened to Matt Eberflus? I really want to know what happened to him.
Well,
and so everyone wants to, point the finger at Eberflus or point the finger at Diggs, but that's what I keep telling people. There is a nuanced, layered effect that's all going down here. So where I'll give them credit is they're deciding to move on from something that was clearly not going to work next year. This allows Trevon to go hopefully find a new start, treat the demons in his brain right now. Because I don't know about you guys, I've been in places where they didn't want me.
yeah.
They didn't think I was good. I didn't get re-upped. And then I would go and shine somewhere else. Like, you've got to find that place for you to be successful. So I recognize and I see that with him. And then when you look at the money, it's like, yeah, it's kind of sucks about the money situation. But if he had an agent, maybe this thing could have been different, But this is, I think, good for the Cowboys and good for Trevon in the long run.
I said the same thing. This is great for the Cowboys. It's great for Diggs. Cowboys are giving Diggs the opportunity to go somewhere else and be successful. What more could you ask for? The Cowboys could have drugged this out. This is why I don't agree with the bald head dude. If the Cowboys wanted attention, they could have drugged this out and had Trevon Diggs in purgatory until June 1st. No, they went ahead and let him go now. Any team that wants to negotiate with Diggs, they can go ahead and get a deal done with Diggs right now. I wonder why he doesn't have an agent. I'm kind of wondering about that part too. Why doesn't he have an agent? JG, for real, I agree with you. She got some cleaning up to do tomorrow. Yes, sir. Frank Lawrence. Trevon had a huge contract. He 100% brought this on himself. It is. Bro, you sign up for this stuff, man. Wait a minute, let me go back to something Frank Lawrence said. Frank Lawrence said fans show up to the game wearing Diggs jerseys with a TV bracket sticking out their head. To what? Man, I ain't seen nothing like that. You said they showed up to the games with boy, that's some crazy work of people doing that, man. That is some crazy work. 72 Seville said, right, G, if you can't fly back unless injury was serious, yeah, that's the only time you don't fly back. And there were people out here defending this stuff talking about, oh, yeah, that's a normal occurrence that people let players stay. No, they don't. Ain't nobody let no players stay back, especially with a lot of, man, I ain't gonna even go there. This stuff is crazy to me, man. Boy, this stuff is crazy to me. It's just crazy. Angel Eyes said, I saw another story online that seems far-fetched that involved him and Marshawn Kneeling, but would make more sense than that TV mess. I hope that's not true. I truly don't believe it, though. I don't buy the whole TV thing. But hey, he can have, if he gonna live with the story, I guess I'm gonna have to live with it. And at this point, I'm just glad I'm just glad it's gone. I'm just glad he gone. Big Rumbowski said, "Whoa, I never heard that rumor." So Nealon had a mental episode because he found out or something. Please don't tell me y'all saying that Diggs was messing with his girlfriend. Boy, I hope that's not true. I hope it's not true. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I hope that's not true. But nobody's asking why, and I can tell you this. Y'all didn't find it strange? Dak Prescott said it straight out. Marshawn Kneeling's family said that what happened to Marshawn Kneeling was not a mental health issue. Everybody started trying to blame it on mental health, and Dak Prescott said he's going to respect the family wishes and not relegate this to a mental health issue. It was funny to me because me and my sons, and I say funny, but it wasn't funny, but me and my sons were talking, and even my sons were saying, what will make a man snap like that? Well, let me tell you something. I can tell you the one thing that I know that has made men snap. And I know of somebody that did what Nealon did. And it was all because he found out his girlfriend was cheating. He lost it. He lost it. So, again, I'll stay away from that part. I'll stay away from it. But I'll tell you this. This is why I'm so glad the Cowboys. I'll give Jane credit for this. Jane is saying it right. Jane is saying it right. The Cowboys have made a decision on Diggs, and they didn't drag it out. I love it. I love it. I agree with her on that. Cowboys didn't drag it out. And I'm hoping the same thing with Matt Eberflus. Don't drag it out. Don't even give Matt Eberflus a week. Full expectations, press conference Monday after the Giants game. Full press conference after the Giants game. We've decided to part ways with Matt Eberflus. I want it after the Giants game, and I want it on Monday. I mean, I say that I don't run anything. I don't run anything. But I say, hey, Miss Matrix, if you're going to do it to Diggs, it was good for Diggs, let it be good for Flus too.
And I don't think that it has to be contentious or drama. I actually think the Cowboys have made a good decision here because I see that they're trying to make moves earlier than putting themselves behind the 8 ball.
Yeah. Well, I'm with you. And you mentioned asking questions. We are going to have Jerry Jones on Friday, so we will try to ask as many questions about all of this scenario as possible.
I'm excited to hear Jerry Jones on Friday.
And here's the questions I would ask him. I don't have the Cowboys. I've got Texans and Colts this weekend. I've covered a few teams this year, so I haven't been on the Cowboys as much. But I would ask him why the consideration pre-post, post-June 1. I would ask him, if Eberflus isn't your guy, how much of a consideration are you going to make towards personnel and scheme? I mean, I think that's going to be. I think that has to be the big question, because I think I saw this with Mike Nolan. Remember, Mike Nolan came in and put together this exotic defense that I joked was so exotic it was on another island, but you implemented it during COVID and you were teaching it online. That's hard.
Yeah. No, you're right about that for sure.
And so they forced a change in the defensive scheme. And so I think they need cohesion. And that's why I would not be shocked if Eberflus were to stay. But they did a better job of finding the personnel that makes sense. And fans may not love that, but I also don't think it's fair to look at Eberflus and straight up say this was a complete failure. Although I would argue the last 2 weeks when you've had some healthy players out there, it would be easy to say that, but I just don't think some of these players fit the scheme.
Yeah.
And then the argument then is, well, then adjust your scheme. But it sounds like he's been trying to do that to some extent. I mean, the 5-man defensive front was one of those changes, which, by the way, it was working there for 2 weeks.
And outstanding information,
Wow.
as always.
Hey, now Jane dropped bombs right there. Shoot, Jane dropped bombs in the end there. Yeah. Cause see, I've been saying the same thing when I was talking about Flus, because sometimes I feel like I'm arguing against myself. When I feel like I'm arguing against Flus, and then I feel like I'm arguing for Flus. Because I think there are quite a few players that didn't want to run Flus system. Flus was making adjustments towards the end, but I think he should have been making the adjustments earlier. But these players can't play the system. I think that's the issue. I really think that's the issue. And I also think Nate Newton made one of the best points I've heard made all year. They did not run the system during training camp because Brian Schottenheimer had the bright idea of, let's not show anybody anything. We're just going vanilla. And I think this may have contributed to why Kyer Elam was the best defensive back in training camp when they were running vanilla. But then when they started implementing the system, Kyer Elam fell off the doggone Grand Canyon. How did that happen? Nate Newton said it. You can't start trying to run your system at the first game of the season. That's what training camp is for. That's what training camp is for. We're going to see. Some people are saying this Diggs thing is an indicator the Cowboys are going to keep the Cowboys are going to keep Eberflus. I don't know if I buy that. I don't know if I buy that, because I do think that Jerry will have to really sell this fan base on Matt Eberflus. But I do think the only way Jerry sells this fan base on Matt Eberflus is Jerry will literally have to tell the fan base that, one, we're going to get Eberflus better players, and we're going to be very aggressive in free agency and aggressive at the trade deadlines and all this stuff. But then number two, I think the only way he can even think about trying to sell Flus to the fan base again is Jerry says, we've had 3 defensive coordinators in 3 years, and we don't want to do 4 in 4 years. It's the only thing that I think that he can try and sell the fan base on. Wow, Derek Giles. Derek Giles said, my brother, a Colts fan, he warned me about Flus. Bro, let me tell you something crazy. So my uncle, we all live up here in the Dallas area. But my uncle, his doctor is from Chicago. His doctor is from Chicago. His doctor knew he was a Cowboys fan. And when the Cowboys hired Matt Eberflus, he shook his head and he told him, he said, boy, why would y'all hire Matt Eberflus? He said, Matt Eberflus is terrible. That's what he told my uncle. And now every time, when my uncle goes, he just shakes his head and he's just like, I told you. I told you he was terrible. So I think the Cowboys are going to have to be very strategic with Matt Eberflus. I'm not sure if the Cowboys will do what I said, and cut him on Monday, because the Cowboys may also try to hedge their bets and see if they can get in and find out, like, what will it take to get Brian Flores, or maybe the Cowboys talk about a couple of other defensive coordinators before they finally cut ties with Eberflus. But I would definitely say with Matt Eberflus, I would say it would be better for the Cowboys to cut ties with Matt Eberflus. And I think that would be for Matt Eberflus' sake. I think the fan base absolutely hates Matt Eberflus. And so next year it'll be an absolute bonfire. Every time you lose a game, it'll be a bonfire. And so I really think the Cowboys should just go ahead and cut loose with Flus early, cut Flus loose, and get that coaching search starting early and try to get that coach as quickly as possible. But if I'm the Cowboys, I really would go see what Brian Flores is talking about. I really would. Christian said he don't think Flus is going anywhere. I think there are a lot of people that have that opinion right now. I think there are a lot of people that have that opinion. Brombowski said, I saw Flus on Hard Knocks that season when they followed Chicago. It was hard for me to understand how the guy was a football coach to begin with. Just uninspiring talks in front of the team. Yeah. I think Flus is a good guy. But I just don't know. I don't think he's cut out for the Cowboys job. JG for real. He said he'll be the first victim of Black Monday for sure. Yeah, I got a strange feeling Flus going to be out quick. I think Flus going to be out quick, man. I really do. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. Y'all make sure y'all get those email addresses in or hit me up in my email address. Tell me what you like of the items that I showed you. Tell me what you like. Make sure also, if you have not subscribed to the G Sports Nation, y'all make sure y'all go over there. Sign up for that. Appreciate you, Miss Matrix. Appreciate you. Robowski, he said Broader's head is bigger, bald head is bigger than the star. Rose, we can take off our foil hats now. The Cowboys will not be meeting the Rams in the NFC Championship game. And with the Jekyll and Hyde approach that the Rams have, I don't even know if we're going to have the Rams. I don't even know if the Rams going to be in the NFC Championship game. Man, I got a strange feeling we're going to have a couple of teams in the Super Bowl that nobody expected. Man, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. I wouldn't be surprised, man. I would not be surprised. New England Patriots, Jacksonville Jaguars. I wouldn't be surprised if it was one of those teams. But I can tell you right now, everything I'm looking at, the Seattle Seahawks, they seem to be the most consistent team. You mess around and let Seattle get the home field advantage and get that bye week, I don't think nobody's beating them. I don't think anybody's beating them. I think if San Francisco get the number 1 seed, I think they can be knocked off, though. I think the Rams and the Seahawks can knock both of them off at home. But again, we're going to reserve that kind of talk for the G Sports Nation. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Don't forget, go subscribe to the G Sports Nation. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Make sure you get those. Tell me what you like over. Send it to my email. Tell me what you like. Hoodie, the soccer jersey, the hoodie, the soccer jersey, or the female shirt. Y'all tell me what you like, and we'll be talking about who gonna get what the next time I see you on Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Peace.